We're live?
Oh, we're live.
We're live.
Gosh, I certainly love live.
Oh, man.
Live is so good.
Oh,
Hello,
yeah.
hello.
How's it going, everyone?
Sean?
Yeah. Welcome to BlackwaterDnD, where the cliffs are tall and we hang on them.
You do. We'll get there.
Someone please write me an intro.
No. This is great.
This is the best bit.
It's
This is the best time.
Active panning for gold. That is to say, most of the time it's just a handful of mud. Like sometimes there's little nugs that you'll take in your pocket and like take into town and you'll get treated nice at the saloon. But most of the time it's a handful of mud. And I only have myself to blame.
And that's okay. Sometimes you have to go through mud to get the gold, I guess. So, there's some deep.
That's not true. That's not true. We could just design just like a piece of jewelry that I can just hold up every time and everyone will say, oh, that's a nice thing, familiar and welcome, versus me just being like, do you like this? And you're like, no. And I'm like, me neither. I don't know why I did this.
How about that's what we do? It's just literally every time is welcome BlackwaterD. Do you like this?
We hope you do. Speaking of things we like, I'm going to jump into our announcements.
Do you like these things? We have things you like.
Do you like? Oh, I like this.
This is good.
No, I hate this. I hate this timeline.
Shop owners.
This is the timeline I hate. A big thank you to our sponsors, Legend Craft, a woodworking company from Calgary. We're also proud to be sponsored by Modern Arcana, makers of fine t-shirts, prints, and mugs adorned with 5e spells. So check them out. And if something tickles your fancy, enter the code Blackwater at checkout for a discount. Love as always to our dice goddess Keisha at fairydragon_dice and our amazing campaign artist Tiana Kovacevic. You can find her at miss._marston. Keisha's commissions are open. Tiana's are closed. She's very busy. But if you would like to get some art done by her, slide into those DMs and she will get to your art eventually. Do you like our art? If you do,
Do you like it? Literally, after every plug that you've made in my head, I've gone, do you like this?
If you, I can't say it now. If you want merchandise, type exclamation point.
Merchandise?
If you would like merchandise, type exclamation point merch in the chat and you'll find a link to our Redbubble store. We have shirts, hoodies, shower curtains, aprons, dad caps, and journals.
Blackwater shower curtain with a logo, and underneath says, do you like?
It doesn't say that. It doesn't.
It does now.
It can.
So please head on over there and go get some merch from us, because this company is good, not like the previous one. If you would like to hang out with a whole bunch of people who also like Blackwater, head on over to our Discord. You can type exclamation point Discord and find the link while we're streaming, hanging out here in the Twitch chat. But other than that, hang out in the Discord. That's the after party. So like, come hang out with us there.
That's where Cliffy is.
Yes, that's where Cliffy lives, and the only place that Cliffy lives. A big thank you to those of you
do not like.
A big thank you to those of you who subscribe to us. Don't forget to re-up your subscriptions, as they don't roll over to every month. You can also sub with your Amazon Prime. You get a free one. So if you choose to give to us, that would be so nice. Also, thank you for folks who have donated through our coffee. You can do that by typing exclamation point donate. We're also just like really thankful to have you here week after week, telling your friends about the show, bringing your dad, wearing your jorts, because we like jorts. We like jorts a lot. We also, I'm sorry, I'm just having to reach over a microphone boom. We are back to the main campaign, as you can see, but if you are not caught up, go to YouTube and subscribe to us and catch up on all of your favorite episodes. They're all there, chronicalized for you very nicely. I've totally lost my train with this, but that's okay. We've also started releasing the session zeros from the Dresda files. It's been a very busy week for us, but next week I will be releasing Aaron Az's. I know I said I was going to do it this week, but stuff happens, so I'm going to do it next week. I promise. Clubs is up there, so please go take a look for that. You can type exclamation point YouTube and find the link for it. Before I jump into programming this week, Len, it's actually so nice to sit with you and play D&D next to you. What are you doing on your channel this week?
Tomorrow is my Sobriversary celebration, so I'll be streaming for 12 hours tomorrow to celebrate 17th month of sobriety.
We love it. And what are you playing?
Oh God, Dead by Daylight, probably Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. We love that.
What
Adam,
a combo.
are you doing anything on your stream this week?
I have been crowned the Swamp King of Lilliput server. I own both the swamps. It's kind of a big deal. People know me. So I might stream here or there. No schedule
You
as of
Shrek?
yet.
Yeah, doesn't it make you Shrek?
I am Shrek. Yeah, no, people
I
have
just blew
referred to
right
me.
by that.
People have referred to me as
burn.
Shrek. I have yelled, "What are you doing in my swamp?" a lot. It's a whole thing. I'm a big deal. So I might stream sometime during the week and show off my. Honestly, I'm
Swamp.
losing so much money. I'm losing so much in-game money because of it. It is an absolute pit, and I really need to get rid of these properties.
swamp
If
is a
someone
pit?
plays on
That
Lilliput
doesn't
server and
surprise me.
isn't in purple, please come attack me and take it from me because I'm desperate. It's bad. It's bad. I'm losing money.
Guys,
hand over
owning
fist.
swamps,
New
not
World, just in
profitable.
case all of you
For
were
New
wondering.
World. Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, cool. And also Cody, our amazing producer, who you don't see here, but you can go see him on his channel. If you type one of our wonderful mods right now, if they are in the chat, we'll go put up Cody's link as well as Len's and Adam's. So please, please, please head on over to those folks' pages, subscribe to them, and follow them for all of that good stuff. Programming for us this week, we are back next Saturday with our beautiful main campaign in all its glory. Same great time, same great place. However, we are excited to announce some changes to our ongoing programming over the next couple months. We are going to be doing DM Roulette monthly on the last Wednesday of every month, barring that we pull in a guest who needs a different day. So that we're aiming for the last Wednesday of every month. This coming month, we are excited to have the guests that we didn't have last month due to some sickness. So we're going to have Jasper Cartwright from Three Black Halflings, as well as Jay Casual Campbell. A lot of you might know him from the Initiative Order and a bunch of other places. He's a fantastic DM, and we are also waiting on one more guest. So I'm really, really excited to announce them. As well as Chatwater is going to be returning for all of you sweet chatcolites out there. We're going to be making it a monthly show now. So Yanis, Sean, and myself will be focusing a bit more on RPG theory and diving into some cool stuff around that, and then doing a little recap and dishing over the last month's episodes. As well, we need everybody out there who's watching this right now I need you to manifest for me really good weather for tomorrow. Like, I need you to do that for me.
Do you know what though? Can I just say, Em?
Please, yes.
You've been saying manifest good weather. I'm pretty sure in Infernal on all of our socials for a
Absolutely.
week. And today, and this is not a joke, there was a
joke, yes.
tornado warning in Vancouver
Mhm.
for like the first time ever. So
Ever?
30
maybe
minutes.
we stop whatever we're doing, because I don't know what kind of weather we're manifesting.
I think whatever you're manifesting at got 2 out of those 3 words. Manifest weather. You got it.
They're
Here it
doing
comes. A lot of weather.
Tornado.
But please wish us for good weather tomorrow. We have some really, really cool projects that we have like kickstarted this week, not actual Kickstarter, but like gotten the ball rolling on this week. We are so excited to bring them to you.
Oh.
It's gonna be so good. And tomorrow is a big day, so we would really like some good weather tomorrow. So whether you're new with us tonight or you've been with us for ages, thank you so much for your support. We love you immensely, and thank you for hanging out with us at our table. We hope you feel super welcome here. And can we roll that clip? Cody?
Corey?
Ba-da-da-doom, ba-da-da-doom, yeah. When you're stuck in quarantine and there's nothing on TV, come on down, come and see Blackwater D&D.
We're back.
We're
We're back.
This is a
Holding our
seamless
breath.
transition.
Never-
Seamless
Ooh.
transition.
Guys, you can tell when
We got Corey behind the scenes today.
we have Corey behind the scenes today, not Cody.
Corey's doing not as good a job. Corey is stressed out.
Very stressed out. Well, hopefully we can all relax now and just play some Dungeons and Dragons. Tim,
Just
take
what
it
could
away.
go wrong.
All right. So, for those of you just joining us tonight, last week Blackwater returned from the Astral Sea, where they reunited with Finnan. and they celebrated the occasion by sitting down to share a meal at Blackwater Keep before going their separate ways once more. Finan invited the young priestess Trixalia, whom he'd shared a special connection with in Philenis some time prior. When morning came, though, the party split up, Neppy heading to Philenis to retrieve a spell component. She was also introduced to a new acolyte of Nepthisicat, the now named Selkatia. Letters had already departed to return to his travels with the paladins of Kruha, and after traveling for some time, they made it to the front lines of the Yornite dynasty, where they destroyed an outpost in an act of revenge. Callie, meanwhile, traveled with Kale and Clack to Cinderfall in hopes of tracking down her foster sister, Hala Redwing. It was there she also followed up on locating Bon, the blue tiefling she came across while in the Labyrinth of Glass earlier in her search, his estranged son, Castor. She managed to find the jeweler's shop, where she was met with a human man and a half-elven woman who bore striking resemblances to Nepenthe. And that is where we are going to pick up as Callie. You find yourself in this jeweler's shop as the town of Cinderfall is coming to life in the morning. And you arrive to see this man greet you as you walk in with Kale and Clack. And you see him standing there, bearing a striking resemblance to your close friend Nepenthe. Hello. Can I help you?
Hi, are you Castor?
Yes, that is me. I'm sorry, do I know you?
I'm Calliope Skysinger. I don't think you do.
No, I'm afraid I've never heard that name before. But it's a pleasure to meet you.
I just came from your father's. I'm looking for my foster sister, Ayla.
Oh. I'm sorry, I haven't spoken to my father in some time. I'm afraid. Sorry, who is your foster sister?
Ayla Redwing.
He kind of looks to the woman at his right. I apologize, but that name is not familiar. Perhaps any kind of gestures to his, you assume, wife.
Yeah.
No, I don't recognize that name. I apologize. How did you come across Bon?
He lives by the foster home that I was in with Ayla.
And where would that be?
The Labyrinth of Glass.
It's a labyrinth of glass.
Ah, good to know. Well, I'm sorry we can't be of more help.
He said I filled him in what he said about Nepthisicat not being.
Okay.
Yes.
So you kind of fill them in on what he spoke to you about.
Yeah.
And you see Castor kind of look to the side. Yes. We didn't always see eye to eye, and he made his decision, and we made ours.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude. You both look strikingly like my friend Nepenthe.
You see, as you say that name, you see both of them kind of step back a bit, and you see tears start to well up in both of their eyes.
Kale comes over. You're right. I was trying to put my finger on it, and I couldn't. And wow, it's such a.
You know her?
Very well. She's one of my closest friends.
Have you been to Temple Philenis?
Yes,
Is she there now?
she's the High Priestess.
I apologize. And he kind of looks over at his wife.
Do you guys know
He's
Neppy?
also just crying. Yes. She is our daughter.
What?
Yes. We haven't seen her since she was a babe. But we have both shared dreams about her and trusted that she was safe. We entrusted her life to Nephthisicat. I must say, I have always been strong of faith, as has Leda. But it is nice to hear. I apologize. Please, would you like some tea?
Yeah, I'd love some.
Do you have some time?
Yeah, lots.
Great. And you see he walks out and closes the shop. And Leda heads to the back, and you see she puts on a kettle, and he comes back forward and kind of lifts up the end of the end of the bench and kind of lets you into the back room. You can see that they live in the back of this jewelry store. You can see his workbench is off to the side, and he kind of invites you into the kitchen, and you all take a seat around their small table on the ground. So, how did you meet her?
I ran into them when they need my help. I'm Paladin, so I kind of met them when Nepentha was petrified, but we fixed it.
Petrified? What, did Temple Philenis get attacked?
No, she goes out and she saves the world.
It's incredible. I didn't realize.
She's incredible.
What is she like?
You know, in the morning, after there's been storms for like days, but it's finally sunny, it's a little bit foggy, and the sun hits your face. It's warm. She's like that.
That's a very beautiful way to put it.
We live in Wolverine.
Oh, really?
I'm married to the Queen. You could come by any time.
Oh, my goodness.
Just a flex right there.
I didn't realize we were in the presence of royalty.
My wife is royalty. You can call me Callie.
Callie, it's nice to meet you.
It's lovely to meet you.
This is quite unbelievable. The next time you see her, do you tell her that we love her?
Yes. Of course.
Do you want to come? I mean, next time you're gonna stay here?
Well, we have to tend to the shop, and this is our livelihood, so I don't know. We'd have to make plans to make such a long trip, but perhaps we can.
I cast a little flame. I'm like, we can take care of that. That's not the problem.
No, don't.
You're going to burn down the shop, I think.
No. I mean, I can. Are you asking me?
No, sorry.
I mean, I can take you on make it a short trip, like for a day or a night.
Oh, yes. I mean, if that's possible, I suppose to save us the sea journey. Castor is not very good on boats. It's true. I get terribly seasick. But if when are you heading back to Wolfreen?
Well, I don't know how long. I was planning to look for Hala. A few days, maybe.
Okay, well, we'll make arrangements so that we can be ready to travel when you're able to.
Of course.
All right. Please, would you join us for, I suppose, breakfast?
Yeah, love to.
Wonderful. I would love to hear all about your adventures.
Question for you, Tim.
Mhm.
They appear to both be human?
Castor appears to be a human. Leda appears to be a half-elf. You can see kind of by her pointed ears.
So, you can see Kale's very confused by this and doesn't really know. Leans in. I'm going to lean into Callie and sort of be like, they look similar, but she has the
Bon,
and the.
Bon was a tiefling.
Yes,
So like,
my father.
oh, thank goodness, because I didn't know how I was going to be able to explain that she has a tail and horns, and I didn't know if it happened before or after, and
Truth be told, it is the reason why we left her at Temple Philenis. She was a blessed firstborn, and Leda and I both agreed that it was best to take her to the temple in deference to Nepthisicat.
Do you have more children?
No. It was difficult. And it caused quite a rift between Bon and I. He didn't think that we should give her up so easily. He didn't understand. But perhaps we can have some kind of relationship.
She's wonderful.
I think it. I mean, she's going to tell you. I'm sure she's going to share everything, you know. But if it makes it any easier, if it hadn't been for your sacrifice, I don't know if the world would be here as it is today. I mean, she has literally on many occasions, I mean, she banished the chained oblivion. I mean, she is... I don't know if you realize how pivotal what you did was. Was not...
I suppose we went on faith. Must have paid off.
She goes on faith too.
She really doesn't stop talking about it. It's a lot. You guys are going to get along very well.
I look forward to meeting her again.
Oh,
Yeah,
also,
let's have some food.
This is Clack.
Hi. I'm sorry. This is beautiful. Do you guys have any like a towel or something? I'm getting pretty moist over here.
You're so shiny when you cry. It's like
it's a patch thing. No, it's cool.
And you see Leda brings out some food, and they are just enthralled and literally just hanging on your every word as you kind of fill them in about your relationship with Nepentha and what you've done. And the day kind of passes into afternoon as you kind of, you realize that the time has passed by very quickly. And, I don't mean to keep you. This has been incredible, but I recognize you have business to attend to in Cinderfall. I will ask around and see if I can find any information on Hela.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I don't know if it has to be a cautionary thing. The foster home we were in together was burned to the ground. She...
Do you know why she came to Cinderfall?
No, I left her when I was young.
Well, there's many reasons folks arrive here.
I think she's in anger.
Yes. And you had said she was gifted with magic.
Yeah.
There are a number of mages here who take on apprentices. Perhaps she's in an apprenticeship.
around, then thank you.
Yes. Best of luck, and I'm sure we'll see you soon.
Yeah, we'll see you soon.
And they kind of see you off out into the streets. As you head out into the streets of Cinderfall, how would you like to go about trying to find out where Hala is?
Where do the mages hang out? Is there a mage hanging out?
Make an investigation check.
Can I assist?
Yeah, do you have proficiency in investigation?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Investigation proficiency. I do not. So
That's
I try. I try.
Try. What was your investigation check?
13.
13. Okay. So you spend most of the afternoon kind of asking around to kind of find out if there's a spot where the mages kind of hang out. And you get into evening without really getting any concrete answer about if there's a spot where the mages kind of congregate. But you do find out about a number of mages in town that do take apprentices. And so you start knocking on doors and essentially asking the different mages in town. And you get well into the evening when you come to the house of a sorcerer whose name you got given, Yanix Yoziros. You know is a pretty powerful sorcerer, and he lives in kind of a well fortified house just on the edges of the city, near the edges of the docks. You knock on the door, you hear kind of a as the door, the little eye hole opens up, and you can see kind of red scales and dragon-like eyes. Who are you?
My name is Callista Skysayer.
What do you want?
I'm looking for Hala Redwing.
Why?
I'm her foster sister. I left her when I was young.
Make a persuasion check for me, please.
Come on, Paladin. Flex that charisma.
It's mine.
Yeah.
Persuasion?
Yeah.
The big P.
The big P.
Just take a big P on this guy.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, tits. Dude, 18. That was a 9 and a 9. So it's an 18.
18. And he kind of you hear the door kind of slide open a bit. As he opens the door, you see a pretty towering red dragonborn wearing these kind of black silk robes. Foster sister.
Yes.
Yes. She's spoken of a foster family before.
I know, they were awful. I tried to get her to leave with me, but she wouldn't go.
Hala. You see, he kind of calls back. As he kind of steps back a little bit. And you see Hala around the corner. And you see the young girl that you once knew, now grown. And you can see scales kind of creeping up her neck. Hello, Callie.
Hi, Hala.
What are you doing here?
I just want to find you
Why?
to make sure you're okay.
I'm okay.
From Pilber.
How's he doing?
He's good. He was in a awful camp. I got him out.
That's good.
He lives in Wolfrain now.
That's nice.
That's where I live.
How'd you end up there?
Married a queen.
She's gonna make an insight check on you. No shit.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I have to hear that story.
I'm gonna curtsy. Princess Calliope Sky Singer at your service.
You are catching on.
And she laughs. The Dragonborn kind of looks confused. All right, do you want to get a drink?
I would love to get a drink.
All right, let's go. She kind of comes out, and Yannix comes as well.
Tim, I need to know how did the Dragonborn like react to the tall human and the tiny rock goblin that were accompanying?
Completely unfazed.
Okay,
Just
oh wow.
like whatever. Like I don't give a shit. And so you head down into the Leaky Barrel Tavern in the harbor, and she takes you in, and it's fairly busy, and you kind of find a quiet booth and settle down. So you married a queen.
I married a queen.
How did you find me?
Asking around, I went back to the lab at the glass. Found her home. Not our home. I found the place where we last were.
I had enough.
I'm glad you left.
I left and then I went back.
I thought so.
I don't regret anything I did.
I don't think you should.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm just glad you're out.
Yeah. I was really mad at you when you left.
I was really mad at me too.
I'm glad you came back.
Yeah, I'm too.
You're not mad at me?
No. Never.
Thanks. I didn't think I'd ever see you again.
I've thought about you every day since I left.
I did for a bit, and then it got too hard.
I have a daughter, technically.
Really?
Her name's Jar.
It's
She's
a
an elf.
weird name.
She's an elfin girl.
Huh.
Gifted with powers of fire.
Well, tell her it's not all it's cracked up to be.
Yeah, I think she's finding that out.
But if she learns to control it, it can be very powerful.
You're learning?
Yeah. She kind of looks over at Yannix.
Can I show you something that I found out after I left?
Sure.
Probably not inside.
Yannix is like, okay. And you kind of grab your drinks and all head outside.
I'm gonna head outside and spread my wings.
She goes, huh. So what are you, some kind of angel?
Half.
Well, I guess we just have to wait and see what Bill Burr's thing is then, I guess, right?
I think it's getting himself into bad situations, sadly.
Well, at least he's with you now.
Yes.
And you see she kind of starts taking off her robe, and you can see she's wearing a vest underneath, and you can see the scales go all the way down her neck and all the way down her arms, almost like sleeve tattoos, right up into her hands.
Nice scales.
Yeah. The more I started playing with fire, the more it started to appear. Getting used to them.
Look cool.
Yannix says it's something in my bloodline.
Yeah. You're safe?
Absolutely.
Well, if you ever want to come to Wolfreen, I live in the big castle on the hill.
She kind of looks up at Yannix. I've always wanted to go. Well, maybe we'll make it over there one day.
Sounds great.
Come on. Let's finish these drinks.
Okay.
So you head back inside, and you spend the night having a drink with Hayla and catching up, and you learn about her apprenticeship with Yannix and how much she's grown into her power. And you can see that their relationship is very much a sort of mentor-mentee, and you get the sense as the night goes on, there's almost like a kinship of like almost like an older brother kind of vibe. Yannix is pretty protective of her, and in a very positive way. It's very much like a brother-sister kind of vibe.
Fuck yeah.
And yeah, and you get to catch up with Hayla. You have found your foster sister.
Fuck yeah.
Foster sister.
We're just all collecting new family members today.
Yeah.
That's what we're
Guess
doing.
how many
So-
family members I collected today? It
In the
was
meantime,
3.
we will jump over to letters.
Oh.
Actually, no, we're gonna jump over to Neppy first.
No.
As Neppy, you return to Wolfreen, and you pick up Finnan, and you both head to the forge.
We do. We
Where
do
you
head to the forge.
reconnect with Magrin and Golar. And you find them in the city of Sirangdun, and you head to the forge, where you can see they've been kind of hard at work restoring parts of the city. It seems like there is some refugees that have arrived, and the city is starting to be populated.
What kind of folks are populating the city?
Mostly dwarves at this
Okay.
point. You see a few kobolds among those dwarves. It seems like some of the kobolds that you once chased off, some of them have returned and sort of
Oops.
made a home here.
Yeep.
But it's very peaceful. Like it doesn't look like there's been any fighting. It's very much like, it seems like it's a peaceful place for people who are looking for a fresh start. And you head into the Hearth of Ages, where you find Magrin. Welcome back.
Thank you so much for having us back.
Hi, Magrin.
Hello, Finnan.
Hi. I got all the pieces that I needed, so I'm back.
You did?
Yeah,
We've
All
got
right,
some.
well.
We've got some projects for you.
got some work to do.
Alright.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see. And she kind of like you lay them out on the workbench. The pieces of the Night Song blade, the tooth, the scale of Bahamut. All right.
To clarify, the Night Song blade is going into the thing I'm making, or is that a separate thing?
Yeah, that will be sort of the basis of the
Oh,
sword.
okay. Dope. Dope.
Now, Finnan, what did you say about meeting this Hellod?
Oh, so I took a tooth from Tiamat's body.
Yes, here,
Yeah,
technically.
and I reckon that's pretty wicked evil. And like, I want to put it in the sword, but I also am. I don't know. What's Magrin Nappy weigh in on this? What's the fella that we almost killed's name again?
Golar.
Golar. If you're feeling like you want to pipe in, please do. My thought for this sword is balance, kind of a meeting between Tiamat and Bahamut, a representation of unity, the third dragon sibling, neutrality, and I'm going to put a scale of Bahamut and a tooth of Tiamat into the sword. I don't know if that, like, if hallowing the tooth of Tiamat kind of undoes the neutrality that I'm going for, but also I'm a little scared to have like a super evil sword, because like I feel like Tiamat's tooth probably has a lot of evil in it, but Bahamut's scale probably has a lot of good in it.
Well,
so it's like,
Give me a moment.
Yeah.
And, I'm going to use detect evil and good.
Okay.
On the tooth. Like, if this is bad, how well is this been a place or an object essentially that I'm looking is magically consecrated or desecrated?
You sense one is consecrated and one has been desecrated.
Right.
Well, if you are looking for balance, Finnan, the scale of Bahamut is exceedingly wholly in a good direction, and the tooth of Tiamat, is exceedingly wholly in the evil direction.
Cool.
So if I hallow that,
I might kind of tip the scales a little bit.
right? So with hallow, hold on one sec here. No.
What we might be able to do you have some of that Saracite?
Oh yeah, a ton. Like more than you need. I'm gonna leave some so you can like fuck around a little bit with it.
We might be able to make sort of a containment
Right.
within the sword.
Like a bridge.
Sort of, yeah, to kind of contain the magic within the sword. I can't say that wielding it won't have any detrimental effects, but
I mean, I ate a giant's heart,
Believe
and I'm actively growing a second head, so detrimental effects on magical items isn't...
I mean, hopefully that the positive effects that sort of outweigh it.
Right.
So it seems like hallowing it would not be fortuitous. I think you have to take it as it comes.
Right. Yeah.
All of Io's children.
All of Oyo's
must be
children represented in a sword.
Yes.
Oh fuck, that feels dangerous, but also really exciting. I've actually been practicing while I was waiting for you, and I'm getting quite good at using my spear and a sword. I got an old iron one, and I'm getting quite good at swinging them at the same time. So I can.
Well, if you ever need a sparring partner, Kokenee is a wonderful.
Of course,
swordsman.
yeah. He did stab me in the liver the other day, like straight through my
yes.
armor, right into my liver. Luckily, the Trixie was watching, and we had it sorted. It was fine. But
Always
I
good
did
to keep a
almost die.
priestess
It was
around.
very painful. I couldn't drink any alcohol. Not that I drink alcohol, but like Trixie was like, you shouldn't drink any alcohol for like a week because that was your liver that just got cut. So, but I was fine, you know. I just did some push-ups.
Right. Well, if that is it seems to me that there are two projects that we come to with Magrin. This blade being the first one. Mine will take a bit of work. It's the Hand of Io. I think it is one of the last things that I need to do before I take some well-deserved time for myself.
But Magrin, I've been during one of my journeys away from Blackwater, I actually got some training at the forge, so I can get started on the sword if you want to get started on the hand.
Oh no, it's going to take me at least 24 hours to hallow this thing.
Right,
So
Magrin, do you want to get started on the sword with me?
I would love to.
Cool. And I'm gonna lay out my plan. So the idea is the cross hilt is the tooth cut in half, and then that is melded together in the center by the scale that has also been split so that it like can hold each side. The pommel stone is going to be sericite, and then the central, you know, in a sword where it's like that central piece of metal and then it curves down into the blade, that central section is going to be sericite as well.
Okay. All right.
I've also
Alright.
I know it like weapons of like potent power should have names, and I want to pass by like how you feel about the Edge of Midnight.
That's nice. It's really nice.
Cool.
has a nice incorporation of the previous sword into it, being Night Song. So
I was
well,
between Edge of Midnight and Edge of Twilight, but I wasn't sure.
midnight.
Midnight.
For sure.
Right. Okay.
I will say this is probably going to take more than 24 hours, so make yourself comfortable. Neppy, if you're going to stay, you're welcome to see the rest of the city, and
Yes.
I can speak to some of our new residents about getting you set up with somewhere to sleep and some food and all that good stuff.
Yes. There might be a moment that Finnan might need some backup. I don't know what I'm going to find when I start hallowing
Right.
the Kopish. I believe Velsum put some piece of himself in there. I don't think it's like a phylactery, but it could very well be quite dangerous as I hallow it.
I think me having a powerful sword before we face that is maybe a great
idea.
idea.
All right.
That's
Well,
a bad idea.
you folks get to work then, and I will make myself comfortable. And when you are about 24 hours out from finishing that sword, you let me know.
My shirt's already off.
All right.
Somehow I've got a
That's
hammer in my
gotta be
hand.
unsafe for blacksmithing.
So
You have to at least be
unsafe.
wearing an apron,
An apron
dude.
on, for God's sakes. You're sweet, but you're young.
Like, as sparks go near me, they just get hit by the shadows that's like blocking this, blocking my skin.
God.
It's like, no, I'm fine. I got the hammer.
You also see that Golar has gotten noticeably more swole.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Since working at the forge.
Yes.
Swolar.
It's
Well done.
Golar,
As-
have you been lifting? Have you been like working out?
yeah. And he holds up a big fucking hammer.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
We should you should run me through your routine when we get a minute.
Bang bang.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, hey, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Let's do it. I do a little
So
stretch.
you lay out your components. So the first thing that you'll be doing is splitting the tooth.
Cool.
So I'm gonna have you, as we get into this, it's gonna be sort of a series. It's gonna be sort of a skill challenge.
Yeah.
I am going to cast Bless on Finnan every time he needs it.
Let's go. Thank
Alright.
you.
Okay, so I will have you make an athletics check for this one.
So Magda isn't taking the lead on this.
No, you were gonna take the lead on
Could I
splitting
ask
it.
Magda to attune to the
Yeah, Magrin.
Magrin? Sorry. Could I ask Magrin to attune to the tools then?
Sure. Yeah.
Cool. So I will take a little bit of time, attune to those tools, so that I'll go to work.
Yeah. So
on,
you'll have advantage.
Isn't it expertise?
Oh yeah, you have
Yeah,
expertise.
so not
Plus a
advantage.
plus a
plus a
D4.
D4. Oh. And you, cool. Sorry, I'm very excited about
Keep your
skill
clerics
challenges.
around, friend.
Exactly.
Keep your clerics around.
So sorry, what the first one's just a smith check. Is that dexterity?
You're gonna use strength on this one.
Strength.
Yeah.
Alright, so this is going to be a plus. Oh, this is a plus 13. We love that. Okay. That's a 27.
27.
I rolled a 3 on my D4. We're getting up there.
So it takes you a few hours,
Yeah.
but hammering away, and you watch as Magrin is moving the chisel kind of along this tooth as you slam into it over and over and over again, and eventually you find this kind of, you create this rivet that grows and eventually splits this tooth into two pieces, and you can see inside the kind of like this yellowish tooth inside. You can see streaks of black that kind of come up into the top of the tooth. It is pretty fearsome to behold. So you've split the tooth. I need you now to make a charisma saving throw for me, please.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, Warlock.
Does Bless adds to that, right? Bless is attacks, saving throws. I don't know if Bless actually does skill checks.
I think it's just saving.
It's definitely
yeah.
saving throws. Take a D4.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll call that a 24.
Take your D4.
for the strength check. Just
Okay.
If
Yep,
that makes
that's fine.
a difference,
That's still,
okay.
yep.
all right. That is a 1 on the D4, but a 15 on the D20. So that is a 26.
All right. So, you feel as this is sort of released, you feel it's difficult to describe, but you feel something well up inside of you, a feeling you're not used to having. This greed kind of wells up in you as you're holding these tools. You feel like, ooh, if only I had these all the time. And you quickly kind of gain sort of perspective on where that may be coming from, this sort of sudden urge, and you kind of push that impulse down as you kind of like step back. And that's sort of your first day. Is that whole day is just spent
Just like
and your
covered
arms
in
are
sweat, just like
so
beads.
oh yeah, your arms are aching Your hands hurt like hell, but you finish that first day successfully splitting the tooth. You come the next day, intent on splitting the scale of Bahamut. I will have you make another strength check for me, please.
Okay.
Wait, I would use what's that other one?
Guidance
that
does skill
clerics have?
checks.
It's I
Enhance
cast
ability?
swole. Yeah, I think I can. That's a cleric one. I'm just sitting around doing nothing, so I can just I can absolutely cast enhance ability on you.
Okay.
You have advantage on strength checks.
Sick.
So I
good
can't
thing
cast
too,
bless
'cause
on
one
you,
of those-
but I've
one
got.
of those was a natural 2, but the other one. I think I bring 13 to this, right?
Also, Tim, this soundscape is beautiful.
Yeah, so good, Tim. Chef's kiss.
Thank you to Sirenscape.
Yeah, you may notice that we've got some music in our
As a
stream,
26.
some atmosphere.
As a
So good.
26 without a D4.
Okay. So, again, this takes you 2 whole days, as this scale is incredibly hard.
Oh, I bet.
Your first day, you barely make a dent in it. You come the next morning with a kind of renewed vigor, and you manage to split it down the center.
Dope.
And it happens very suddenly, almost as if you hit the right spot in a diamond and it cracks in half.
Sick.
And you feel this kind of wave of force emanate. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
Constitution saving. Oh, I'm
That's not with a D4 because I'd be
That's-
concentrating on
and
enhance
You
ability.
didn't bless me. Yeah, that's fine. That's decent. Maybe not decent enough.
It did.
Oh, just a +4, so that is a 22.
Okay. So you feel yourself get pushed back fairly hard. You slam into the wall and you take 12 points of bludgeoning damage.
Woof.
As you feel this massive weight just slam you into the wall, and you feel it kind of push against your chest as you can feel the power that you've sort of released from this thing. It still exists in it as you split it. You haven't broken it,
Yeah.
thankfully, but you released some of its potential that it had stored up essentially from you hitting on it. It kind of hit back, but now you have been able to split the scale of Bahamut.
Okay.
So now that you've done that, you have your 2 pieces split. Now you're going to be forging the hilt.
Okay.
So as you lay out the iron that Magrin has set aside with the sericite that you'll set in the pommel, and then setting these pieces into that hilt. So the first part of this is going to be for the sericite in the pommel. So I'll have you make a smith check, but using dexterity for me, please.
Dexterity. No
And
advantage.
whatever skill Finnan would request enhanced, I would do so
Okay.
to give him advantage.
All right. I don't want to burn your spell slots too much, but.
Well, what else am I doing that day? I'm waiting for you to
That's an 18
finish.
and a 19, so that's that's a 32.
All right. So you work together in concert with.
I work with Sericite.
with Magrin, and Golar is working the bellows. As you heat up the metal rather quickly, the iron kind of gets red hot as Magrin is turning it, as you're kind of opening the pieces that are going to hold this sericite in. You manage to get it in as Golar is working it and heating it and turning it. You manage to kind of set it, and very quickly and very skillfully using your smaller hammer to kind of nail all those pieces around. So you create this kind of cage around the sericite in the hilt. And you watch as this happens. You watch the anvil of creation start to warm up, and you see runes kind of glow along the sides of it. As you watch the runes on the anvil kind of coalesce along the top as you're hitting it and tapping it. You watch the hilt start to glow, and the sericite start to glow with a kind of golden color that kind of rises, and then sort of you watch it kind of spiral around the hilt as you set out the scale and the teeth. This will be another dexterity check.
With advantage.
Yeah, sick. All right. I'm deeply excited about everything that's happening right now. Oh, I'm so glad I have advantage because one of those was bad. It's a natural 3 and a natural 15, so 28.
All right. So again, this takes you almost 3 days of work, of meticulous, fine work, as you and Magrin and Golar all work together in concert, heating this blade hilt up enough to set the teeth in, and then using those platinum scale that was given to you to kind of set those teeth into the hilt. And you watch as you have to get the furnace blazing hot, enough to melt just the edges of this fine scale, enough to hold on to those teeth. And it is such delicate work, as you are just wanting to heat up just the edges so that they're able to hold it. And you manage to hammer it, and like it takes all of your focus, and you finally have it set in. And as you hit it the final time, you watch as sparks erupt from the anvil, and you watch the entire roof of runes, all carved with names of previous weapons, all light up in a flash as the sparks kind of settle around the edges of this dome and onto the floor. You successfully crafted the hilt.
Sick! Holy shit!
So we're at the hilt. You haven't even done the blade hilt.
Now it is the time for the blade. So you're going to be laying down a seam of sericite down the center.
Yeah. I'm also going to summon the Spear of Peldaven, because this, like, the haft of the spear has a bunch of runes carved into it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to try to put those runes into that sericite inlay.
Okay. So to do this is very tricky.
Yeah.
First, you have to heat up the pieces of Nightsong, the pieces of the blade, enough to make them malleable. And while they are still hot, you have to lay down the sericite in the center.
Yeah.
So this is going to be 3 checks.
Okay.
The first one is to heat up the pieces of Nightsong in a way that's able to receive the sericite. So as you all work together, I'll have you make, this one will be a strength-based smith check.
Okay.
You can have advantage on that one too, because enhanced ability
I will
sounds...
ask Tim, just because I want to do this as fairly as possible. Is there time between, like, because I know there's 3 upcoming things, can I, like, call out what I need between those? Like, are we okay with that? Or like, okay, cool. I just, I don't want to be
and
like...
I'm happy to change what you need every time.
Yeah, this process, has to happen essentially all at once.
Cool.
Like this, unlike the hilt, you can't do this in pieces. It all has to happen basically at once. So you start the morning fairly early, and you kind of get everybody on the same page, and Magrin is kind of following your lead on this.
I'm gonna look to Neb and be like, I need to be strong.
And you can have, I believe what's that one called?
That's a natural 20 right there.
Oh, hey,
That's a natural 20.
look at that.
23. I mean, 33.
I was going to say.
33.
Yeah, so with your, as you start off the day fresh, with renewed focus, you manage to lay out the pieces of Nightsong as you heat it up along the hearth. You watch as Golar kind of brings each piece over as you begin to hammer them together, and you watch as the magical metal, you can see runes, like as you strike it, kind of faded runes kind of light up with color as the whole thing heats up, and it becomes malleable enough as you watch. The seams start to melt together as this blade is red hot. You line it up with the hilt, and you are able to, you kind of see where it's going to go. So you form the bottom of it so you know how it's going to fit into the hilt. That'll be the final piece. So you have it now red hot. As you lay out the sericite next to it, I will have you make, this is a dexterity base smith check for this one.
I'm gonna be like, I need to be fast.
You got it.
Okay, that's a 26.
Okay. So this, now your sweat is pouring down your face, stinging your eyes as you're kind of brushing your hair back. As you lay out your sericite, you don't have one single piece, so you're laying it out in pieces as Magrin is hammering this thing and Golar is flipping it as you are placing the sericite along the center to get it into place. And as you flip and place and flip and place, the whole room emanates this immense heat. It is difficult to breathe, and you watch as the Saracite, with each strike, you can see it absorbing that energy and watching it glowing. You can see the Saracite is growing like a very bright purple as you're doing this, and you can feel the kind of vibration throughout all of the crystals. There's kind of a hum that resonates through the air as it's, you're getting right to the limits of what this Saracite can take. But you manage to get it all in just so. Finally, you're ready to merge it with the hilt. I will have you make one more dexterity-based smith check for me, please.
Same number on both die as a 25.
25. All right, so you are exhausted. It is late in the day. You haven't eaten. You barely slept the night before. You knew what was coming. As the whole room is now glowing with this heat, you can see the runes along the dome have all lit up quite brightly, and the anvil itself is red hot from all of this work. Your feet beneath you are burning from the heat that's been absorbed by the stone floor. Everything is stifling.
I also want to activate my shroud so that I'm in that duality.
All right. So as you move into this mode, you kind of get a clear, almost like tunnel vision, as you zero in on this red hot blade into the hilt, and you guide it. You grab it with your bare hand, and you feel the heat emanating throughout your hand, burning your flesh as you take the hilt and you press them together. And as you release, you watch your shadows kind of peel away, and your hand is unburnt, and you watch your shadows kind of fall away as this kind of echo calls out from the anvil, this resonance that completely consumes all of you, ringing in your ears as the whole forge goes dark. And the only glowing light source is that thin line of Saracite, glowing purple, as you watch along the bottom of the top of the dome, new runes appear.
Sick!
The name of your blade.
Sick!
The Edge of Midnight.
Oh
You've
my
successfully crafted an artifact of unity.
god. Holy fuck. Oh my god. Thank you, Neppy. Oh my god.
I will have you make a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, of course. I will have
8 levels of exhaustion.
Listen, I deserve this. It was a natural 2. That all of that advantage got me over 25 the entire time. That natural 2, so that's a 6.
You watch as Finnan just passes out.
I run and I catch him.
Make a dexterity saving throw so you can catch him before he lands on the floor.
Dexterity, not something Neppy's great at, but she would try.
I also, just point of order, as I was finishing it, as I was putting it, I was casting my 8th level spell just at it, so I don't have an 8th level spell slot for the day.
Can you pass me my other book, Len? Oh my gosh, so many books. So many character sheets everywhere. That is going to be an 18.
So yeah, you managed to just catch his head just before he slams into the ground as he is passed out.
I just cradle him
but you
down.
see a smile kind of on his face. Finnan has 2 levels of exhaustion.
Oh yeah, fair, absolutely.
As you see Magrin and Golar both kind of stumble back. Magrin looks a little bit more put together than Golar. You can see Golar is breathing heavily and kind of on one knee, leaning over the hammer.
Are you both all right?
That was incredible. It's been a long time.
Yes.
Wow. And Golar kind of whoa. That is, I've never, ever witnessed anything like that before. Thank you.
Well, we'll take a couple days.
Yeah.
Before we steal ourselves again. I'm wondering, I don't know what is inside those Kopesh. Is there a room that you have that could be almost look as if it's sealed. There is nothing in it. Because if something comes out of there, I don't want it getting out. And I certainly don't want it here in the forge. I would like to bring you hallowed items before we start working on them.
Right. I don't know that we'd... The only room that looks like it's sealed is this one, but I don't know if we'd want to bring out whatever's in there.
No, I would...
Here.
Am I still unconscious?
You are... make a constitution check for me. Just a straight check.
Ooh, my con checks are bad. 9.
No, you're passed out.
I would just be
You're so
cradling
up.
him in my lap. And just like keeping 2 fingers on his pulse. Just to make
Maybe
sure
take
he's
it to the old Great Hull.
perfect. Yes.
There's a few houses in there, kind of old ruins that we could probably do.
I just don't want, if there's anything in here, to have anything go loose.
Right. Yeah, that would be bad.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah. Well, you can take a look. You can take a poke around and have a few days.
Yes. I will set Finnan up for sleep.
Right.
Let you all take a breather. It's not much, but I'm going to cast Create Food and Water.
All right.
Just so you don't have to think about food. It's
Thank
not
you.
necessarily the most
No, it's great. We mostly eat mushrooms and bugs down here, so
Oh.
this is a real treat.
right. Well, it'll leave you full.
When the create food and water food is a treat, you know you're living a fucking sparse
I was gonna say it's like the
life.
equivalent of like airplane food.
Yeah.
Like
Oh my
it's
God,
not
man.
good.
No, I feel
I
like it's the
don't- I
equivalent of
don't
like
eat
space
much, but-
food, where it's like dehydrated mush that like you can just like put in your mouth and you are like nutritionalized.
All right, so you take your few days of rest, Finn, and you kind of come back to with your sword.
Can I, while
Mhm.
everyone's kind of resting up, can I take just a walk around Searing Dune? Before I do, I'm going to cast Death Ward
Okay.
on myself.
Yeah.
You can, Tim, you can assume that every day Neppy has Death Ward
Every day.
cast on herself.
Every day.
Every day Neppy has
Um,
Death Ward cast on herself.
Yeah, you head out into that main room that you first arrived in, and you can see the hole in the ceiling is still there. But where all of the printing presses were for the coins, it looks like a lot of those have been destroyed and sort of repurposed or salvaged. A lot of them have been stripped for metal. And you can see most of the inhabitants now live kind of near where the Great Hall was, or the former Great Hall of Searing Dune, where there were homes and things like that in that kind of big cavernous space. And you can see people sort of set up in those ruins. The houses that are still mostly intact seem to be occupied now. And there's probably, maybe a few hundred people
Okay.
max at this point, but there is life there. Does seem to be sort of a system that they've got going. They have kind of rudimentary farming, underground farming,
Cool.
for mushrooms, and they don't have any proper livestock. It seems like they mostly go and hunt for their any kind of protein, mostly bugs and things like that, down towards the mines. That seems to be where the kobolds have come in handy as far as guiding the kind of newer dwarves to where sort of good food can be found and caught and trapped and things like that. But it seems like they're getting by. It's not a glamorous life, but it seems like the folks that are here are happy.
Okay. I would try and find, just during my walk around, just try and find a space that would fit the bill. I'm looking for something that is enclosed. I'm looking for something that doesn't look like there's a way out.
You go back over toward where the workshops were,
Yeah.
the ancient workshops, and you find there is one of the rooms that has also been, it had kind of broken down golems and things like that.
Oh yeah, the Golem Workshop.
It
yeah.
seems like pretty much everything useful has been taken. So
Okay.
the room is largely empty. There's a few kind of work tables and things like that, but all the tools, all the metal has all been salvaged.
Okay. I would spend some time, as much as I could, clearing. I want very little in that room other than the table that I plan to place the Kopesh on while I'm hallowing them.
Okay.
Some space for like a ritual space for sure. But I would like plain blank room, nothing in there.
That's basically what you have in the Golem Workshop.
Wonderful.
Okay.
So when we would be ready to go.
Yeah.
How you feeling, Finan?
Yeah, I had some weird fucking dreams. Oh, good.
You rested?
Good. Yeah. Do you mind casting the thing that lets you see good and evil on the sword? I just want to see kind of where we landed.
Sure. Can
And
I do
I-
that after I hallow this?
Oh yeah.
Is that all right?
Well,
Just in
my
case.
worry is if I try to use a sword of evil against an evil person, I might like get taken over or something. That's my one concern.
Right.
But I don't want to like
All
tap
right.
you for
No.
you should-
That's totally fine.
Okay.
It's not strong magic. So I'll cast detect evil and good on the sword.
Or the sword.
You detect both evil and good.
It's a nice balance.
In equal measures.
I don't think it tells you amount of evil.
No.
Shit.
I can tell
90%
consecration
good
and
and 10%
desecration.
Yeah. So it's both.
It's both.
Well,
Right.
if you were aiming for balance, I think you've got it. I would be aware that depending on what your quarry is with what's at the other end of this sword, just to be careful with how that would affect you.
I'm gonna attune to it, and I'm. Magrin has her tools, right? I realized I was attuned to them, and then I kind of lost a day. Right,
She's
good.
got them
okay.
back in her possession, yes.
Good. There was a moment there I was really thinking about stealing them. I think it was the tooth. The tooth had a lot of old greed in it. I'm gonna sit down with this sword, and if I become evil, you kill me, yeah? Like if I become like a demon dragon lord of all badness.
And then you're going to be fine.
Right, I'm real nervous, and I'm gonna sit and attune to the sword.
Okay. So you attune to the sword, and you can feel its power kind of immediately. You do feel almost simultaneous thoughts. You feel
Did I make a sentient sword that has two minds?
no,
That's
but
bad.
you feel that there is like your things about yourself get amplified immediately. You feel the desire to help Nepenthe hallow these Kopesh.
Okay.
It sort of comes forefront to your mind. But there's part of you that also is thinking about what could be in it and how powerful it could be
Right.
and how you could use that.
Yeah.
Can I, by watching, I would be eyes like a hawk
Kind of vibe
on
check
him.
it.
Can I vibe check my friend, please?
You just see him attuning. Like it's you can see he's concentrating pretty hard. But as that like initial sort of moment passes, those feelings subside somewhat.
Okay. As the feelings subside and I feel calmer in myself, I go, oh no, Neppy again! I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. It's fine. It's the sword is fine.
Unfazed,
Yeah,
unflinching.
okay. And then I'm going to attempt to dismiss both.
Okay. You
Sick! I bring him back, and then I dismiss him, and I'm like, Finan is very amused by this trick for the next like couple minutes, just very excitedly.
Neppy waits patiently because
I'm
new
sorry.
toys are fun.
Yep. I'm sorry. I realize we've got a thing to do. I'm really sorry. This is very exciting, and I've had this plan for like months. So but you've had this plan for months. So let's do your thing. Thank you for being patient.
And I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
Are you proud of you?
Yeah. I also have a present I need to make for letters, but that's a really small task. So yeah, I'm happy.
Good.
I
You
feel
should
like
be.
I've made something good. I think I've made something balanced.
Yes, certainly.
I think there's more choices now for dragon folk than just one side or the other.
There's always more choice. Always.
Yeah.
All right. Now, while it may not be as physically demanding, I don't know what's inside these. You would see Neppy holding a prayer shroud. She's like holding it like this far away from her, not touching anything. So basically what's going to happen is we're going to go into this room. I've set it up. There is prayer ritual space there. And for 24 hours, I am going to be trying to hallow this.
Okay.
To bring it right again. At some point during that, something may happen. It may not. It may go completely unfazed. But any support you can offer would be greatly appreciated.
Of course. I am always thinking ahead. Just know I will be here, and I'm going to sit down, like, cross-legged, kind of go into, like, a meditative pose, sword across one way, spear across the other, and then I just fade from view. Because I cast invisibility at will now, so I just...
Fun times.
Yeah.
So we, as we would go into the kind of this ritual space that Neppy set up, you see just so many candles. Gosh, your girl loves a candle. There is like intricate drawings on the ground. You don't speak Infernal, do you?
Not that I know of.
So there was just like, there's a bunch of Infernal writing all over the ground. Celestial.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd probably see some Celestial in there too. Neppy speaks Celestial as well. Essentially binding. It's a binding space, wanting to keep everything that could potentially come out of this in it as part of her hallow ritual. You see all of the components required. And Neppy takes a moment and pulls out of her bag of holding this like very ornate, like you were there when we hallowed the tomb or the place outside of Barnwich, Yana's the tower. You would have seen Neppy in this once before, this like beautiful black, almost like full veil covering of herself, adorned with just gold and jewels and onyx and obsidian. And she places it over her face. All right. I'll talk to you in 24 hours.
Sounds good. I say, invisibly.
And I walk into the space and I start chanting, and I am going to cast Hallow.
All right.
On these cursed Kopesh.
All right. So as you spend the day casting Hallow, you lay out these Kopesh on a table, and you see, as the day wears on, the rusty iron that's been fused with this beautiful platinum rod that was snapped in half begin to pull away, almost as if it were water on a hydrophobic surface. You watch it start to peel back, slowly but surely, peel back, and you start to see the rod where it was snapped. And as it pulls back, you watch as almost tendril-like pieces of metal pull out of the rod, pulling back as the Kopesh bend together and start to fuse and pull apart and fuse and pull apart as they grow larger and larger and larger and like stretch and move along the table until finally the rod now at one end of the table and this black rusty metal now fused fully together in this kind of shrouded humanoid-like figure. Tall, very tall, almost falling off the end of the table. And you watch as it kind of sits up. As you finish your hallow spell, it turns to you, this cloaked figure, as it moves effortlessly off the table and stands before you, kind of stooped as to not hit the roof. You can see a humanoid-looking face, but slender and almost blurred along the edges. It's difficult to focus on the edges of the face. Wearing this long cloak that flows all the way to the ground. And atop its head is a black, rusty metal circlet. It seems to be fused with its pale skin. And you can see almost coarse fur-like hair that grows out and over it slightly. As it kind of looks down at you, its kind of hollow black eyes.
I meet its gaze, unflinching.
It sort of smiles slightly, and you see kind of large canine teeth. Thank you.
Who are you?
It kind of licks its lips. I am known as the Stray of Gizagoth. Who are you?
High Priestess Nepentha, Lightkeeper of Her Grace, Nevthisaket.
And you watch as the figure bows very low. You have released me from my prison.
Who
And
put
for
you
that, I am eternally grateful.
Who imprisoned you?
A priestess. Zesperia.
My sister.
Oh, that is unfortunate. I was tricked by her master.
Malsapakul.
Yes. And you can see as the figure clenches its jaw. Do you know where Mosav is?
Dead.
You see a wide smile that creeps all the way back onto the back of its head.
Finnan is fully on his feet. Like,
I just put a hand out, would just be like a hold.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
And you watch as the head kind of tilts towards you, Finnan. And you can see sort of pinpricks of white that kind of expand in the eyes. Welcome.
I become visible.
Malsav died in my hand. He's gone.
Twice.
And then you watch as the figure bows once more. Truly, you are divine. You have granted me 2 favors. May I ask for a third?
It depends, sir. I will be very honest with you. My intent was to let nothing leave this room.
You watch as they kind of look around. I do not wish to be here. In fact, my favor may satisfy both parties. All I ask is that you kill me so that I may return home.
And where is home, sir?
The abyss.
You will find it quite different.
Oh. How so?
Can I make an insight check?
He seems genuinely curious.
No, can I make an insight check about is he from the Abyss?
Is he from the Abyss?
Yeah.
Yeah, make an insight check.
Okay. So I feel like that's a real like devil move to be like, no, I'm not a devil, I'm a demon-y. Oh fuck. I forgot what my insight was. That's a 15. That's actually not bad for me.
Seems like he's telling the truth.
Okay.
As much as you can tell from,
Yeah.
you know, this sort of otherworldly kind of figure.
Did you serve the Chained Oblivion?
Well, all who inhabit the Abyss serve the Chained Oblivion, whether we liked it or not.
While I may have had a hand at putting your master back where he belonged, as he sought to crawl out into this plane, you will find that he is no more, destroyed at the hand of another god.
I have missed much. Well, that is exciting.
So if I am to grant you this favor, now the third, what will you do for me?
Should you ever find yourself in the Abyss, or wishing to go there, I would happily be your guide.
It is always good to have a friendly face in the darkest of places.
Of course.
Can I insight check him, Tim?
Sure.
Tim, can we just talk about how convincing you are as a bad person? And that like I'm so scared of you right now.
That's a 29.
Yeah. He seems genuine in his desire to return to the Abyss, and it seems like he's willing to, he would genuinely be your guide. Should you need reassurance. And you watch as the cloak parts somewhat, and you see an arm kind of extend. And what is both of your passive perceptions?
I think Finn's is higher than mine. Mine's
So
a 20, like super high.
I think
Both like over 20.
mine's 25.
Yeah, mine's 20.
So Finnan, you get a glimpse as the cloak opens, only briefly, but you get a glimpse kind of into the cloak, and you can see that the arm that comes out, you can see is there's a number of arms similar to it. You're not exactly sure how many, but it all seems to be how this creature stands up and moves. As this like arm comes out, and you can see the lower half of this body. You just get a glimpse. It seems to kind of round down into a fine point like stinger that kind of rests just behind the cloak. But as the hand kind of comes out, you can see that it has 3 fingers, sort of 2 facing forward and 1 facing back.
Tridactyl.
And it kind of like reaches out, and it puts its finger into its mouth and pricks it on the tooth. And you watch as kind of a drop of this black blood. My oath to you.
Now this is Emma just vibe checking. Is he asking me for a blood pact?
It seems like he's offering you blood. It doesn't seem like he's wanting. You're not sure if he wants blood back, but he's sort of like.
Len, did you just quietly say drink it? You fucking
did.
chaos goblin.
I do not mean to be rude in the slightest, sir. And please know that I accept your offer. But if you're wishing me to imbibe that, then I cannot.
Well, What you do with it is your business.
Pull out a vial. And I hold it up to him.
He kind of like dangles it above, and you watch as he kind of squeezes the finger, and the blood drops into the vial. And you can see it's almost like this kind of oily black kind of blood. And you see, watch as he kind of licks his finger and returns it under the cloak.
Well, if I am in need, I would appreciate a guide.
Yes, of course.
Do you have a particular manner in which you wish to die?
Surprise me.
Okay. What a question. I am. Yeah, this seems fitting. I am going to. Finnan would watch Neppy's hands move around an iron rod that sits on a pendant that she has, and her hands shift and move, and all of a sudden you just see this glowing ball of light, and she just puts it straight forth.
Okay.
As I cast Bolt of Glory.
Oh, yeah.
You watch as you're preparing the spell, you watch the creature kind of like, you watch they open their cloak ever so slightly, and you get a view of the chest just as it's happening, and you can see at least 6 hands kind of come up and pull it across, and you can see many more hands kind of holding it up as it kind of leans forward into this, accepting the embrace of death, as you blast it with this bolt, this streak of light that as it hits it, you watch as it kind of you've cast the spell before it, and it's passed right through creatures. You watch as it hits this creature, and it almost seems to stop and continue to try to move through it, as you watch the creature kind of accepting it, and then you watch as the hands that pulled apart the cloak tear up the middle of its chest and open a wound that then the bolt kind of pushes into, and you watch as it doesn't come out the other side, it just gets subsumed, and the whole thing kind of collapses in on itself and almost disappears in a kind of a puddle of smoke. And it's gone.
Can I just say, I feel like in true Blackwater fashion, we have just created a problem that we'll have to deal with down the line.
I don't know.
I get vibes from that guy. He was
He gave
spooky.
me a drop of his blood, Finn.
Yeah, but he also had hands everywhere. Ooh.
That's at least equivalent to that's at least equivalent to a demon giving you the name. I can track him.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
He can't hurt me with that. Let the devils and the demons have their planes and their power struggles. I want none of it.
Yeah.
You're
right, I'm just like very unnerved. I think this is like peak unnerved that I've ever been. He just had a real vibe about him.
Yes.
Yikes.
It's not every day that I get to have casual conversations with a demon.
Yeah. I heard about these 2 demons in Dresda while we were gone. Demons sound fucking gross. There's apparently this little boy one. Oh my god.
Well, as someone who has been into the abyss, I suggest you never go.
Yeah. Wasn't planning.
I walk up. The hand of Io, it's broken, but it's there.
It is, yep.
I take the 2 pieces, and like you see this just like beautifully, like wonderfully triumphant moment. Where Neppy just like stands and it's just like, and then she just turns around and just like leaves, and then you just watch her wave a hand as all the candles go out. She fucking high fives Finnan, and then we head back to the forge.
Hello.
So you head back to the forge.
I sleep first because I've been awake and chanting for 24 hours.
You're exhausted.
Yeah, does Neppy? Do I have to catch Neppy?
Yeah.
I mean, it's one spell and it doesn't give you exhaustion. That seems like a broken, like Hallow's just like, you cast it for 24 hours, but you're not exhausted afterwards.
Well,
you're fine.
so here's the thing. In the rules as written, I think if you don't take a long rest, you get exhaustion. So by casting the spell even though it doesn't say in the spell, I think you do get a level at least because of like the way
Last.
resting works. Yeah, it just makes sense.
Oh, okay,
Because if you
okay,
go for a
okay.
24-hour period with no sleep, the game itself is built to be like, fuck you.
You can't stay
Just
awake.
like life.
Cool. Then yeah, absolutely. I high five Finnan and we head
And
back to
pass
the
out.
forge for a nice little sleepies, and
All
then I wake up the next day and I go to Magrin.
All right.
Made here, reforged here.
I wow.
It's clean now. There's nothing
That's
inside.
great. This may take some time. I've studied some journals of my old master, and well, he was the one who forged it, and it's gonna be a lot to live up to, but I will do my best.
My shirt's off again. Tell me how I need to help.
I think I'll take lead on this one.
No, absolutely. I'm just here to help you. You take point.
Of course. No time like the present. Actually, Finnan, do you have any more of that Saracite?
So much. I've got bags full. I do need a little bit for my own little project, but like enough for a setting of a ring. But I just pull out all the Saracite that they've let me take for any amount that they were like, yeah, that's too much. I went right to that uncomfortable limit.
Like, please.
Yeah.
So you watch as she takes a crystal of Saracite on the anvil, and she shatters it and grinds it up into a fine dust. And you watch as she kind of gathers up the dust. She then takes several bars of platinum, as the rod itself is made out of platinum. She takes several bars of platinum, and you watch as she heats them up over the hearth, and Golar kind of holding the tongs for the metal as she kind of watches it, as he kind of swirls it around. And you watch as she slowly drops in the Saracite into the platinum, and you can hear her kind of chant in Dwarvish. As you see the Saracite kind of light up ever so slightly. And you watch as some of the runes on her own forged body start to kind of light up as well.
I'd forgotten about that.
And you see the platinum takes on kind of just a very faint purplish hue. And you watch as she lays out the two pieces on the anvil. And she kind of looks at Golar. And she looks at you, Finnan. I need you to turn it when I ask you to, okay?
Of course.
So you hold kind of both ends of the rod as she takes out her hammer, and she kind of spins it, and you watch as Golar slowly begins to pour the platinum onto the rod to fuse it together, and she's like, spin. And as you sort of spin it, I'll have you make a dexterity smith check for me, please.
I would use whether Magrin was using skill or strength or dexterity, she can have enhanced ability as well.
Okay.
I don't have expertise anymore, which is very
No,
important.
you do not.
So it's just a +8. It's pretty good, actually.
A casual +8.
Yeah, it's a +8.
Actually.
So that's a 19.
19. Okay, yeah. So you're barely keeping up as she is like, spin, and your wrists are getting sore as you're trying to keep up, as Golar is slowly kind of pouring this liquid platinum over the middle, and you watch as she's hammering it fairly hard to kind of temper this thing as it spins around, but trying to keep that speed up to keep the form of the rod. And slowly but surely it starts to get there, and you watch as she kind of finishes, as the platinum runs out, and you can see that kind of glowing purple now kind of seeded throughout that crack. You watch as she takes it with her bare hands and she plunges it into a water basin next to it, and you watch the steam kind of rise up her arm as she kind of like grits and bares her teeth. You can see the steam kind of like blowing off of her face and hair as the heat is immense. She kind of pulls it out, and you watch as she pulls it out, the light from the rod kind of lights up this room in sort of a soft purple glow, and you can see where the hand of Io rune was up on the roof glows once more with a kind of purplish energy.
Cool.
As she kind of pulls it out and places it on the anvil. I saw him.
Who?
My old master. I saw him. He held my hand while we plunged it into the basin. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Magrin.
Wow.
I want to be very clear what's just happened. You have helped me collectively close 2,500 years of struggle. You have helped me put it right.
I'm glad I could help.
Yes, Venom?
I'm going for a high five. I feel like is this not a high five moment? It feels like I give Galar a high five as well. Covered in sweat.
It's like, yeah, it's like his white hair is just like plastered on his face. Oh, we should have a drink.
I agree.
Let's celebrate.
Yeah, real quick, Magna, can I use your little tiny tools, like really fine ones?
Yeah, sure.
And
absolutely.
any help you want to provide, but Neppy, can you make me nimble, like really quick with my fingers? I love you. Thank you.
I give him enhanceability, and then while he's doing whatever tinkering or jewelry making he's doing, I'm going to set about doing create food and water since they liked it so much last time. And I'm going to try and make a really
funny.
nice
They've been asking you
spread of
every
it.
day for that.
They can have it every darn day.
I'm going to just inlay, I'm going to take the ring of Ricel, and I'm just going to inlay it with, I would have like set aside specific Saracite for this, and it would have been the Saracite that Letters had used to talk to Ricel, and I'm going to inlay the ring, basically trying to create a ring that allows Letters to do, and I call it the ring of do. And I just
That's
inlay.
so sweet.
I just inlay.
So
Okay. Make a dexterity-based smith. Actually, no. You know what? This will be a little bit different. This will be an Arcana check for me, please.
Sweet. Okay, which I have asked not to have advantage on. That's great. It's not smithing either?
No. I will give you advantage on it.
Okay.
Because you are doing some kind of jewelry work with these tools. But it is an Arcana check to do what you're trying to do.
Sick. That's... Oh, thank you for the advantage, Tim, because that was a natural one.
Yeah, give me a shitty ring. I don't care.
That is a natural 19.
This gives you a headache.
It's a natural 19, which, because of the heart that I ate, becomes an 18.
Okay. Yeah, you're not sure,
Okay.
but you managed to inlay the Saracite into the ring. And you see it kind of has a soft glow to it that sort of fades.
I feel like it's about the same level of ring that Letters got from Adonis's the first time.
And I'll cast a big spell in, like an 8th level spell into it as well to try to balance out that magical power.
Okay.
And then I put the ring, and I'm just gonna tuck it in my pocket. I'm not gonna wear it because that's for Letters. I just once while I'm in the forge go, and then I walk over to join people eating.
All right.
So we eat, and then I can imagine do anything that we can to help out around the forge,
Sure.
and then we would head home.
Sounds good.
To Wolfrey.
Sounds good. All right, so we are going to jump over to you, Letters.
Okay, yeah.
As
Absolutely.
you have spent the last month and a half
Fading
making
to
your
black.
way back,
Yeah, way
fading
ahead
to
of
black
you.
every night throughout this journey. You've really cultivated quite the relationship with Mavera, but
He's been fine.
Mavera.
she's like, yeah, Mavera.
Mavera.
But you have made your way back across the Taywin lands and across the sea over to Karos, as Eklund has extended an invitation to you. Letters, it's been a real honor traveling with you. There's a place that's very sacred in Keros. It's called the Warden Grove. Would you like to see it?
I'd like that a lot. Yes, please.
I was hoping you'd say that. So as you arrive back in Keros, you head through the city, and you can see now you're heading towards. You can see the main part of this large island. There's the city where the port city is, and then kind of beyond that, there is a fairly dense forest, kind of like a boreal forest, or actually, it's more of like almost like a West Coast forest.
Oh, my favorite.
Sort of like West Coast rainforest. And you can see, even from this distance, there are a handful of trees, probably about maybe 15 to 20 massive trees that stand hundreds of feet above the rest. As by your estimate, probably around 500 feet tall. They're just gargantuan. And they look like kind of redwood trees. And kind of rise up, dotted throughout this whole forest. And you get brought up into kind of past the kind of center of town and beyond. There is this sort of a kind of natural gate that has been, I would say, cultivated. They have taken the stone that existed there, and they have, over the years, carved it into this kind of open, the entrance to this open air temple. You can see the pillars, some of them stone, many of them trees that look like they've been planted in specific places to kind of create these load-bearing areas that kind of foster this beautiful open air temple. And you can see people of all kinds coming and going freely into this forest. The temple leads right into the forest. And you travel for probably about 3 days into this forest. This temple just kind of continues to sprawl out, and you can see where there's areas that kind of just blend off into the forest. It's hard to tell sort of where the temple begins and where the forest ends. But there's areas that are kind of more open, and there is some stonework here and there. But finally, you get into a kind of cluster. Up here is the Warden Grove. And you can see ahead there is a massive tree. The diameter is probably about 100 feet across.
Fuck a duck.
These trees, we believe they're the anchors to the web of life. The thing that connects all of us. The strings, whatever you want to call it. Letters, Blackwater. If you would like, I invite you to take an oath to Kruha. If you would allow us this honor, we may renew our oaths.
What kind of oath?
Well, as I'm sure you're all aware, we're paladins. We swear an oath to Kruha and to each other. Kruha demands no worship, rather in how you govern yourself. That's how your devotion is judged or seen. Your strength that you draw isn't from some god on high, rather from inside, and the connection you hold with others. Now, I know you're not from here. And correct me if I'm wrong, but it doesn't seem like you plan on staying here forever.
No, I got places to be.
But just know, even if you don't swear an oath, the bond that exists here between you and all of us, kind of gestures to the other paladins with you, it will exist regardless. No matter how far away you are. It's been tempered. It's been tested.
There are things that I have observed about this world and the people in it and the connections we make between one another. And traveling around with all of you, it's like finding a word in the dictionary, and you're like, oh, that's what that is. Yeah, of course there's a word for it. I would be deeply honored to put it down in writing, so to speak.
All right. Follow me.
Tight. Yeah, absolutely.
So he takes you farther into the grove, right up to the redwood tree. And you feel minuscule in its presence as you kind of gaze up at it. There's someone I'd like you to meet. And you watch as a much older minotaur kind of strides out of the forest. You didn't even notice them when you arrived. And you see now as they kind of step forward, you get a better look. And their fur almost looks like moss. And streaks of white fur woven with grass. And her horns appear to be cracked and have a stone-like appearance. And you can see she carries a hefty, gnarled redwood staff. And her eyes are a deep, deep green. She kind of totters over to you.
Ma'am.
She kind of nods her head. Letters, Blackwater?
It's me.
May your fire never wane. And you watch as she drops her staff and gently taps you on the chest. You feel this heat well up inside of you. Welcome. Take all the time you need. She turns. She kind of strides away behind the tree. And you watch the other paladins are down on one knee. And you can see each of them is touching one of the massive roots that comes out of this tree. All kind of bowed in silence.
And I look at them and I say, I'll catch up with y'all. And I cast fly on myself.
Yeah.
And I want to go all the way to the top floor.
Okay.
And not unlike when we came to save Illyria for the first time, just sit way up in the canopy.
Yeah.
And just be there for like a while.
Absolutely. You find a spot. The air is thin, but it's serene. And you really are able to see the entirety of the forest and the city. And you can see now it's difficult to tell where the forest ends and where the city begins. As when you're in the city, you notice more of the kind of comings and goings of folks and where people live. But as the sort of bird's eye view, it all seems like a kind of wild.
Are there any like pine cones or anything on the tree that are just like, like they're ready to fall? I don't want to take anything that's,
Big. They're big.
Yeah.
Some of them are smaller and kind of greener, but
No, I'd like to just sit until, either the sun comes up or down, whichever sooner. I just want to take one of them big basketball-sized pine cones. And just kind of cradle that for a while. I just kind of be there, and then I'll head on down to the gang.
all right.
Be like, y'all want to get tattoos? I was thinking like one that says the Crew Hub, but like CREW, and then like
You watch Euramides kind of step forward. Absolutely.
sick. I know it's like part of the journey to like get here, but like I want to be drinking now, and it took 3 days to get here. Y'all want to teleport to the bar in town?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. All right, Sims
And
Elephant,
you
let's
see-
go.
Just before you teleport,
Yes.
as you start kind of casting the spell, you see kind of a green string that sort of connects to you and each of these paladins, just briefly, very faint. And as you cast it, it sort of fades away. And you arrive at the bar with your crew hub.
Yeah, the Crew Hub's gonna get fucking tanked. I want to buy fucking the whole bar fucking round.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't bring a lot of money on this trip. I'm just gonna it's all gone end of the day. Like, I want bottom dollar spent on I'm just the vibe. It's a big day. It's my birthday, really.
All right. So you cut loose with these paladins and you swap stories and you reminisce, and it is genuinely an incredible time. You have a blast. As your night winds down, you hear Neppy's voice in your head. And that's where we're going to take our break.
Oh.
Oh. All
Meow,
right.
meow, meow. Oh
Don't
my
go anywhere, folks.
gosh.
We'll be right
Back
back.
soon.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh,
Before we
yeah.
go.
Oh, yeah.
Before we go. You know it says in the title that we're going to give something away. I forgot to announce it off the top, but oh my goodness, here we go.
Love giving it away.
I love giving things away. My goodness. We, on our first stream back, we gave away 2 mugs. Last week on episode 69, nice, we gave away a Legendcraft Vanguard DM screen. And this week, I have, for anyone who would like it in the chat,
Me.
a health tracker
Oh, hell yeah. We love those.
from one of the sliding magnet trackers. This is the last one that I have to give away. I had like 4 that I gave away like months ago. I found an extra one, and my God, do I want to give it to you.
Hell yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to have you hop in the chat, and you are going to put the word, you're just going to put the word legend in the chat. LEGEND, all lowercase. Please just put it in one time or you'll get disqualified.
I've already put it in 50 times. I'm sorry. Anne.
I know, that's why you're already disqualified, Adam. You had the chance to hop in when you had the opportunity to. So I want to give this away to you. Please put that in sometime over the break. Our break is a tight 10 minutes, and I want to see what Neppy's going to be messaging letters about. So
I want to see
10 minutes,
if it's
guys.
Neppy.
Bye.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Hi guys, it's me, Adam, and I'm here to talk to you about the sponsor for tonight's episode, Legendcraft. Legendcraft is a Canadian woodworking company that makes D&D and tabletop gaming tables and accessories. They are a couple of passionate crafters that create items that will instantly become a highlight of any tabletop or RPG player's game night. An absolute favourite of mine is the Mountain King board gaming table. This table is bonkers cool, looking like it is straight out of a Dwarven King's Hall. It's really unlike anything I've ever seen. We feel really good about endorsing this Canadian business that brings so much passion into something we care so deeply about. So head over to their Instagram at legendcraft.ca to have a look at what they're making and let them know that Blackwater sent you. And if any of you fall in love with any of their amazing products, you can go to their website and use the promo code Blackwater for 5% off. It supports a Canadian business and also helps support our stream in this crazy D&D game we love. Thanks, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Back, baby.
We're back,
All
baby.
right.
We're
We're
ready to
back.
fucking-
we're back.
Tim, what do I hear in my brain? I hear some words.
Well, no, you hear first that I'm going to do this giveaway. That's
Oh.
what you
All
hear.
right.
That's the giveaway. That
You
you
hear,
get.
you
And I
hear
have a
sending
giveaway.
from Neppy.
Let us-
It's
I have a
time for
giveaway for you.
it's time for a giveaway.
Oh, great.
So, if you missed
Which
their
legend is
Kickstarter,
getting it?
This is the Legendcraft Magna Trackers. They have them both health and spells. You can get them customized on the back. Our logo is one that you can get customized, which is pretty rad. The Blackwater logo as designed by our amazing artist Tiana Kovacevic. I got Neppy's. I got a spell tracker for Neppy done in their rose gold, and they were kind enough to emblazon it with the symbol of Nepthisicet on the back and put Nepenthe Lightkeeper on there. It lit. It's amazing, and I love it so much. Okay, so we Nightbot really doesn't like doing giveaways for us. So what we did over the break is we put everybody who entered into a hat, and we drew it. And I think I'm pronouncing it right. Angry Spexican. This is coming home to you, my dear friend. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here, and we hope that this has a lovely home in your future D&D games. Blackwater gets to come home with you a little bit. So what you need to do is you need to whisper your address to us over here on the Twitch, or if you're in our Discord, you can whisper it to me in
And
Discord.
I have just linked the Discord, which is a really cool place for everyone to hang out. So if you're
Yeah,
not already
so
in the
please-
Discord,
The after
come
party.
That's the
hang
after
out.
party.
It's the after party.
I
Last
guess it's
week,
just the after party.
It's just the after party.
last week I was throwing up some big hullabaloo in there because I said I was never going to financially recover from the fact that y'all knew Neppy lore, just lore in general, before I did. So
Yeah.
this is the fun things that you get to do, is hang
Yeah.
out with our wonderful community. Thank you so much, Angry Spexican, and thank you to all of you in chat tonight. Timothy, back to you.
So you hear
I'm like,
Neppy-
shut up. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
inviting you to come and visit her and Kokenee's house.
Is this like a +1 deal or like a +6? We can like make this like a real like event.
Letters, it's just for you.
Cause I'm kind of part of a crew now, and like we're kind of fucking ride or die. So
This is going over a sending spell, so you realize Neppy's having to continually.
maybe look. We are deep in it. I brought 300 gold pieces, and I got 2 in my pockets now. Like it's been a night.
What's the timeline on this one, Tim?
This is probably it's 11-month year. You're probably at about 8 months.
Okay.
So this is like a little bit before you're pretty pregnant.
On a scale of 1 to pregnant.
So pregnant. As someone who has been so pregnant actually twice, it's a lot. Letters, I want you to come see Kokenee and I's new home.
Okay, great. Describe it to me, and I'll be right there.
And I cast it again. We are having everyone meet at Blackwater Keep. We'll give you instructions how to get there from there.
Well, that just sounds like we're adding an extra step, though. Well, she's not going to answer. All right.
I don't answer to that.
You've never seen their house before.
Yeah, but if I get a loose description, I can make that work.
I mean, you did argue with the contractor, didn't you?
I did.
At the beginning.
I'm like
So you have
somewhat
a-
familiar with
Yeah,
it.
you're somewhat familiar with it.
He's gonna fucking splice himself into a wall.
Yeah, he doesn't know where the walls are.
I know where the foundations are dug.
Mhm.
He'll be under my house.
You do.
No, I mean if we're all meeting at the Blackwater Park, all right, and I'm gonna do like a big old like huddle up with the crew and do like one of those like we had all like the nice moments earlier. It's gonna be one of those like really incoherent like. Oh, like you, man. Let me tell, like, oh, like you, like it's gonna be one of those,
No,
like,
mine's you.
no, it's. I think it. Here's the thing.
No,
I think it's us.
shut up. Fuck.
And it's gonna take a while. Like this goodbye could be
That's
like
fine.
4
Oh, yeah.
minutes. It's gonna go on for 40.
There's a big time
Yeah,
difference
and
between where
Mavera
y'all
does
are.
pull you away for part of that goodbye.
Yeah, we fade to black and then come back and do
Matt.
more like overlong, heartfelt goodbyes.
You can't just
Yeah,
come back, okay?
you
Or
should come to Dresda. I like own it.
Really?
Yeah,
I will.
that's great.
I will be there.
I love that.
It's gonna take me a month to get there, but I will be there. Okay? I will see you in 1 month time. Okay?
I don't know where I'm gonna be in a month, but
You better be in fucking Dresden.
look, I pop in, everybody's on the payroll. I'm starting a trade war, but that's literally a company secret.
so hot.
I would have broken an NDA if I wasn't the one to create it. It's wild.
I don't know what that means.
It's a business thing. It's wild. All you know is paladining, but business is so big. Business is big.
This is crazy.
It's like the web of life, but of finance. You're gonna love it.
That sounds awful.
Oh, it's you exchange it for goods and or services. It's like everybody here just does it because they're like chill or whatever, and that's rad.
When I
But,
get
like,
there, you show me, okay?
I fucking will.
Fucking show me.
Fucking will.
This is the grossest
We
interaction.
fade to
ever.
black once again.
I need to know, is Letters casting teleport tanked?
Well, he hasn't done it yet. He hasn't used his 8th level spell slot, so I mean, it's still possible. But yeah, he's definitely gonna do it that night, or very early morning, as it is very quickly shaping up to be. As like he comes out to leave, and they're like playing one of his favorite songs. He like gets involved
yeah.
in that for a while.
It's
Like,
crabs in the
Said
pot.
maybe.
It is crabs in the pot. But ultimately, he does attempt to teleport to Blackwater Bar and Grill.
Okay. I'm gonna have you roll a teleport check anyways, as
Yeah.
if it was what's one step below very familiar.
boy.
Let me pull it up.
Yeah,
May the odds ever be in your favor.
There she is. There
Okay, so we'll say you've seen casually for the purposes of this because you're so drunk.
I
Or
definitely
we could-
I'm an associated object guy. Like I have so much fucking Blackwater
Okay, you know what?
Bar
We'll
and
do-
Grill merch
we'll
on
do-
me at all
we'll
times.
do very familiar.
Yeah,
So
oh,
there's a
come
very
on.
small percent. Very small chance.
I don't want my places
You can
like.
fuck it up.
I've
Yeah,
done
but you're
that.
tanked.
Yeah,
And it's been a while.
While he rolls
been
his
a
Tim,
while.
can I just retcon that Finnan also made a very simple bracelet with a little chunk of Cersite in it? Just like
Sure.
a very simple.
Hell yeah, we got a 46.
Cute.
What's that? Aw, it's fine. You know what?
You're
I've seen it
fine.
casually. I'm off target.
You're like pretty confident, and then Mavera's like, "Hey," and you sort of look away, and you disappear, and you find yourself in an office, and you realize you're in Nissa's office, and it's like the middle of the night, and you sort of make a stealth check for me, please.
I'm not good at these. That's not a natural one. It is a natural 2 mine. Oh no, +1 because I upped my dex. It's a 3. I got a 3, baby.
Like a ghost.
You are fully a bull in a giant shop right now.
Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Shit!
Also, is Nissa's room like a little bit more because a little bit smaller because Nissa
Well,
is a halfling?
it wasn't always her office, right? Like this was
Okay.
like the Archmage's office, and
I'm
now
just
she's
imagining
taking it. But she also
Gandalf hitting the
sleeps there.
chandelier and like
it's
getting the
her,
horns caught and
her
shit.
bedroom is attached to the office. What's your max HP?
Pretty fucking high. It's like 146 or something. What am I
That's
at?
not enough.
137.
So as you're banging around, you just feel your whole body lock up as you hear Nissa's voice kind of finish off a spell as you just like drop to the ground stunned. She used power word stun on you.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing?
Oh my god.
And you watch this like as she casts light and she, oh Jesus.
I was invited by Neppy. I was invited by Neppy. No
What?
word of a lie.
To my office?
Yeah, she wants us all to come to her house. She said to bring a +1.
I can't believe I'm a +1.
We all love you. We all love you. You're basically part of the family.
The middle of the night. Letters.
It's always family time.
Get
I've been spending a lot of time getting in touch with my roots, and I have learned that the threads that bind us are what is most important, and I feel very threaded with you.
as you're talking to Nissy, you hear a voice like, who's that?
Oh,
And you
who's
see
that?
another gnome kind of pop their head out of the
Who's
the
that?
bedroom door.
I don't know because it's very dark.
You make a history check.
Oh, these I'm good at. I know this.
I know who it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be like a 20-ish, 21.
It's you do recognize this gnome.
Hey, what's up,
This
dude?
is Governor Falric. It's Falric, the governor of Barmwich.
Oh, same bed?
Same bedroom.
Governor Foray.
Like,
Good to see you again. Oh, I buy your gin. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really good stuff. Flies off the shelves. We love it at the bar and grill.
Yeah. It's been a standing order. It's good.
And Nissa and I are going to a housewarming. You want to come? Because she's a +1, so I think she gets a +1. If I remember how Neptisica is very generous.
Get out of my office.
Okay. Okay.
We'll pop by in the morning.
I think it's a now thing.
I love imagining so drunk letters just teetering down the fucking like causeway of Wolverine, just like
You're in Blackwater Keep, or you're not in Blackwater Keep. You're in the Gatestone Keep. You're like tiptoeing through the halls. His guards are like,
in the fucking palace.
like they all know who you are. So
Yeah,
it's
once I like
just-
get out her door, I'm just actively singing Big Busty Betty, like Bessie, like just my love, like my old school gladiator songs. Just like,
oh my
you like you see guards are like, oh, this is like they don't know what to do because they know who you are and they know who
doing
you're
the late night shift. I love that. Boom, boom, brothers in
Very
arms.
uncomfortable. It's like,
Fucking- yo,
like
do you guys
a
have tattoos? Do you like get a crew, like a
yeah.
tattoo as a crew? Do you get a tat crew?
Dolan has one. Dolan's like, shut up. Like, he's like,
Let's
I
see
don't-
it.
Don't
I just got
involve
this
me.
one.
No, it's a private.
Oh,
thing.
it's in a special place.
Yes.
Was it
it's
the
in
left
a-
or the right cheek?
It's above the cheek.
It's in the middle.
It's in the middle of the cheek. I don't letters you can't
Do I?
yeah.
Am I kind of your boss? Like if I
No, the
ordered you to
Queen
show me
is
the
our
tattoo,
boss.
would you have to?
No, it doesn't work like that. You're very respected
Do you
in the
get
city
tips as a guard?
and that would be a bribe.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forget. It's not like it's 15%. You know, it would be 20% for you.
Thank
Here's
you.
the downside of having a cleric in our party is we see this less. We see with restoration spells, we see drunk letters less than we should.
I have never cast Lesser Restoration on.
As they
others.
like
Only on
this,
me.
I
there's
would never
now like
undrunkify someone
Yeah,
they
it's
didn't
true.
want.
You're
there's
right,
now like
you're right.
12 guards sort of corralling you out the door of like keeping you engaged, but also sort of like
Oh my
walking and
God.
like leading you towards out the door and
That's
towards
so
the
funny.
Blackwater Keep on the other side of the palace
Oh,
grounds.
beautiful night, y'all. I'm
Yeah,
at
yeah,
Blackwater. Keep
yeah.
y'all want to
Because
come?
like I'm pretty sure.
No, we have to work.
No, because I have the key. Like you know, Callie knows your boss. Like we can, like you can take one. We'll make sure that the keep is safe. We'll make sure that the Blackwater Bar and Grill is safe together. Because I heard there's gonna be something dangerous later, and like if we
they all sort of like their tone sort of shifts of like, should we be make a deception check at disadvantage?
Because Neppy would have sent him this message when it was fully like daytime.
Oh
in
yeah,
Wolfreen.
everyone else has arrived.
what time is it in Wolfreen? It's like middle of the night. Yeah,
The middle. It's like
deception.
It's like 3:30.
That's a
in the morning.
4. It's a 4.
They're like, oh, you're fucking with us.
Yeah. No, it's
Okay,
big
have a good
crime.
night, letters.
Big crime later.
Get
big
home
crime.
safe.
We might be the ones causing it. We'll see how the night goes, but we'll need some guards there.
And they all sort of turn and head back into the palace.
You're no fun.
But everyone else has you sent to Callie and Kale and Clack earlier. Or though, do you have plane shift, Kale?
I have teleport.
Teleport.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you sent it about the same time. So you all kind of arrived in the evening, and we're planning to head over to their house the next morning. Finnan, you've been in the city for the most part.
The day I got back, I would have turned myself invisible and just kind of snuck through. Is it Caracal?
Temple
Caracal.
I would sneak through Temple Caracal until I found Trixie, and I'd be like, "Psst, Trixie,
Like fully frighten the shit out of her.
yeah, sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
Okay,
I forgot you could do that.
Come back invisible and be like, I was at the Forge of the Gods, and I Neppy helped us reforge the Hand of Io, and then I forged an artifact of Unity. It was a really good day. I also made you this, and I'm gonna give the bracelet that I made. It's got a little chunk of cersite in it, because like cersite's kind of my thing. And I just thought it would look nice on you. You're allowed. Listen, I've traveled with Neppy for so long, and I have no idea how like life as a cleric works. You're allowed like jewelry and stuff, right? They're not gonna like take it from you.
Yeah,
Right? No, because
Neppy has all
no,
those
but like she's the
bangles.
high priest, so I'm like maybe like the higher up the food chain you go, like the more bangles they put on you. Like I don't.
Kind of like there is some ceremonial stuff, but
Cool,
yeah, we're
cool.
allowed to wear jewelry.
Awesome.
Well,
Yeah,
I have the evening off. I can maybe meet up with you after.
yeah, I'd like that. Okay. I go invisible again. Just
And you head out, and so you spent the evening with Trixie, wherever you wish to have done that, and
Much fading to black occurs.
and
So much.
Callie,
well,
you
actually,
would
in my room, I've turned off the dark so that's like guests are able to see.
Kale, you returned
Fading
with
to black with the lights
Blackwater.
on. Very
Blackwater
classy.
Keep. Callie, you likely would have gone to spend the night with Kamea.
You guys mind?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I missed that.
So I would send to Callie.
Yeah.
Callie, Kokenee and I are home. Finally. We'd love for you to come to see our new house with Kamea, of course.
I have 25 words.
You have 25 words.
Very cool. Neppy, I have found your parents. Can I also bring them? I was going to bring them to Wolfreen.
There's like a good 4 minutes that just goes by.
Just Neppy's buffering.
What do you mean, my parents?
They look just like you. They dropped you at Valenis. I found them trying to find Ayla. Also met your granddad?
That's like another 5 minutes.
This is
In that-
such an
in that-
info dump.
In that 5 minutes, Kale would have been like, did she mention if I could come? You know what? I'll take you back, and then we'll see. We'll feel it out.
You can be my +1.
Oh,
it's
thank
totally
goodness.
fine.
Thank
You
goodness.
absolutely can be my +1.
I mean, the parents, of course, but anyways, yes.
Oh yeah, yeah. It should be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Oh, thank God you're here, Clack.
Callie would hear back. Yes. Of course. Absolutely. And you like hear like it sounds like you know what it sounds like when Neppy cries.
Yeah.
It sounds like she has taken everything in her power to just put on a little bit of like and she's sent back to you. So yes.
They're really lovely. I can't wait to meet you again.
Say that one more time.
They're really lovely. I can't wait to meet you again. They also go on faith. Love, Callie.
One sec, Tim.
Mhm.
Would I have given birth? What?
You're pretty close. Or I mean, yeah, probably.
I would send back to Callie then. Well, they should probably come meet their grandchildren.
Just screaming.
Just 25 words worth of scream.
Kale's just looking at Clack, being like,
And Glad would look at her parents, and be,
It's not normally like this.
Yeah.
Are her parents there?
they'd be waiting kind of close by. Like you're sort of outside their shop.
Okay.
Because you knew that you were heading back relatively soon.
If I
So no, actually, because this is when you were heading back, so they'd be at their shop, kind of ready to go.
I just like go tell them.
'Kay.
But we're gonna go. Neppy knows. She said
All right.
you should probably come meet your grandchildren.
What?
And let's go.
Take their hands.
okay, so I just want to, we're not burning down the store. That was like a,
No, dude. No. You read the room wrong.
oh,
Okay.
we talked about it before. I wasn't sure if it was part of the plan. Let's go.
All right.
And I will
Boom.
and pop them back.
Oh,
All right. So you
it
head.
breaks my heart that Sean missed that.
You head back to Blackwater Keep, where you all spend the evening. Neppy's parents are put up in her and Kokenee's room, as the spare room is being used by Kale right now, and the next morning, you all congregate outside of Blackwater Keep to head out of the city towards where their house is, just on the coastline, just outside of the city. So you all come together. Letter's a little bit hungover, but you all make your way down, just kind of just outside of the city, kind of where the cliffs sort of drop into kind of lower coastline. And as you come along the kind of main road, there's a small sign that reads Karenin Estate. And there's a side road that carries on for about 20 minutes that takes you through some rolling grass fields that comes up onto a kind of wooded area that you kind of saw as you were making your way down. As you kind of head through the wooded hilltop overlooking the ocean, you see there's a simple 2-story home. And the house is simple in design, made of wood and stone, and there's a big wraparound porch on the outside. And large windows adorn both sides. You can see a lot of light this morning kind of streaming into those windows. And about 100 feet off the path down the ridge, you can see there's kind of a stairs that are built into the stone that go all the way down to the beach. And you can smell the kind of sea air wafting in. And it's very quiet. It's very peaceful. You hear the occasional goat. As you can see, there's a little pen just off the side of the house. And you can also see there's a little workshop just to the left of it. And next to kind of a creek that runs down to the ocean off the cliffs. And you also see on the edge of the house, there's a large glass solarium kind of domed on top and supported by black obsidian and iron. And there's familiar trees in there. You can see they look out of place with the other kind of surrounding flora. They look like young almwat trees, like the type you saw in Philenis, in Temple Philenis. And it looks like, from where you're standing, as you get closer, you can see the kind of reflection off of a small pool of white water in the center of the solarium. As you kind of come up and knock, you're greeted by Kokenee and Nepenthe. Want to take it away?
Yeah. So as you come inside, the house is so simple. Not minimalistic, but it's cozy and homey. Chairs are often replaced by kind of like sunken linen and big pillows that you could just kind of drape yourself on. There's a modest kitchen. Everything is so bright. It's like the light streaming in is the first thing that you would see about the room. Kokenee would probably open the door, and you'd see in his arms a small baby, human, goldeny, a little bit of golden hair, olive complexion, like Kokenee's. And as you come inside, you see Neppy sitting in a chair, and you see her also holding the baby. Blue, with little horns, black hair. So for everyone out there, when Matt and I rolled, we rolled twins. So they'd probably both look tired, very tired. But you have never seen such lightness and joy between the two of them. And Neppy would introduce you all to the little boy who she's holding, Damien Torin Lightkeeper.
Oh, fuck you. Oh, fuck you.
And the little girl that Kokenee is holding is Hadella Kaliana Lightkeeper. I'm gonna cry.
What a gorgeous litter you've got.
Thanks, Sean. You fixed it. Tears are sucking back into my eyes.
Thank you, Lettuce. We're so happy you're here, all of you. Welcome to our home.
And I guess Neppy's eyes would settle on the two people she doesn't know.
So you see Castor and Leda kind of hanging back, kind of holding hands, not wanting to kind of infringe on what is clearly, they could tell, is an important moment, not wanting to overstep, kind of standing just at the threshold. Hello. My name is Castor Iliad, and this is Leda. We're your parents. I'm not really sure what to say other than...
Come in, please.
Thank you. Your house is beautiful. You are beautiful. Your children.
My home is your home.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
For what?
Well, we're sorry.
For what?
For leaving you.
And I would grab their hands. I had the most wonderful childhood. I wanted for nothing.
That's good. We were often given signs that you were thriving from Nepthizicat. But it's hard to ignore. Giving up your child was a decision we did not make lightly. But as I've been told by your very generous friends, it seems like you've had a great impact on the world. And we are so grateful for the chance to meet you. And we're so proud.
I never imagined meeting you. So this is such a gift. Such a gift.
Truly. The gift is to us.
I'm sure Kokenee is there. I show my father Kokenee's wedding ring.
Huh.
I'm assuming this is your craftsmanship.
Me?
It was left with me.
Yeah. I never thought I'd see it again. It was my... I don't know. It was my way of making sure that you had something of ours. I gave you the ring and your mother gave you your name. We live in Cinderfall, but I think we I can't speak for both of us just yet, but
We're home here always.
well, we may be relocating.
Yes, please.
Um,
Please.
There is someone else you should meet at some point. Your grandfather.
My grandfather.
Yes. It has been some time since I've spoken to him, but he would be very, very happy to see you. And I should make amends.
I would take both of their hands. If growing up at Philenis, it taught me so many things. But it taught me that you are stronger when you are surrounded by those that you love and those who love you. So please don't go far. Please.
No. I don't suspect we will. And later, kind of... I think you're going to need all the help you can get.
Goddess grace, yes. Please.
And they both grab you in the biggest embrace.
I hug them so tightly. And I take my temple and press the traditional greeting to both my mother and my father.
Great.
And then I put their grandchildren in their arms because I feel like that's what you do with grandparents.
And you see they both hold them with such great care and tenderness, and the love is palpable. As you can see, as they look into the eyes of these children, just tears streaming down their face, tears of joy. You can see physically almost a weight lifted off of them as this burden that they've carried for so long has finally started to lift, and the wound of their sacrifice is starting to heal, even though they knew the importance and what they were doing was the right thing in the moment. It was still incredibly hard, and that hurt is starting to fade and being replaced with joy and care and love. As you all take time to enjoy this moment of peace and joy in your friend's house with these new children, barely a month old. So little.
At some point, I would very quickly just be like, letters. I made you something, and I'll toss him the ring.
Oh fuck! Oh wait, got it.
I don't know if it'll work. I did my best.
Please describe to me what it looks like, Adam.
So it's the original ring, and the inlay. Kind of, it's almost been like there's a furrow all the way in the middle, and in that has been filled out with smooth sericite. So it's essentially like a band of sericite that's encapsulated in a. The original ring was silver, correct, Tim?
Sure.
Yeah.
Encapsulated with silver, and on the back, it's carved letters Blackwater, and then in quotations, doot to doot doot.
I love it. That's perfect. And I put it back where it used to be. I slip it on my tail.
I'd forgotten about that.
And I try to make it go invisible with my mind, and I look back at it. Does it?
Yeah, it goes invisible.
Still works.
The big part of that is
Try to read my mind. Try to read my mind. Try it. You won't be
don't-
able to.
I've
That's
never
what I
been able
fucking
to.
thought.
No, the big part of the magic that I put in that, what I was trying to do was to give you a link to Rysel. I know you were close. The activation word is, of course,
Dude.
Dude.
Hell yeah. Okay, sick. That's so great. If you ever need anybody, just dude me. We have the communication channels up and running again. This is great. I'm going to give fucking Finnan a big hug. One of those real squeezers. You know? Like
Finn
a little hard
feels
to
awkward
breathe.
in it, but, like after a little while.
I will hug him like until shoulders drop. You know what I mean? It's gonna be one of those hugs, like where it's like, oh, we're really friends, and it's like, no, we're fucking friends.
Yeah.
My guy.
Sink in.
Guy, we're family.
And I
so.
would love to find Clack just on that beautiful veranda that you described. Missed you.
I missed you too.
Yeah.
You're looking good.
Thanks. I am feeling good.
Also, you have gained proficiency in athletics from your time traveling with the paladins.
Dope.
You have trained hard.
It's sick. And I flex my lats. I just get really wide. It was cool. I needed some time to do me, but I was thinking about you a lot while I was out there, and I got you something.
Really?
And I pull out my basketball-sized acorn, and I say, "This acorn is from a big-ass tree that's at the center of the web of life." And I got it because, buddy, you're the center of my web of life.
Oh.
You see Clack get real moist around the eyes. And you see just that faint kind of shimmer of green between the two of you.
Thank you.
So he kind
We'll
of pops
just
it in the backpack.
I can sit.
And he just fucking gives you a big hug.
We'll just cuddle up in like one of those big chairs that M described.
It's out on the porch.
Yeah.
Neppy. There's someone missing. And it's not the same, but it's the best I can do. And from that like soft, the kind of like those god rays that are created by sunlight going through a window, Finnan kind of weaves the light together in silent image, and you see stepping forward, tattoos, shaven sides of the head, Torrin standing there, just a silent image of him, but looking really dressed as he was on the one time that Finnan saw him at the eve of the battle, but like Finnan's like cleaned him up a little bit, like cleaned off all the like muck and blood. It's just in his Caraxian uniform, looking like pristine and proud, and he's just got like a really loving and happy smile on his face as he looks down at you and your kids.
I'd bring Damien over and hold him in that light.
I wish I could do more, but...
You do so much.
And Torrin's hands come up, and like where you're holding Damien, his hands kind of move in, almost as if he were holding, but like just his illusory hands overlaying yours.
And Neppy starts crying too.
She's just so tired.
It's a raw.
Guys, motherhood is real and raw, okay?
Kale is just like making cups of tea and like what? Oh, cool tat. Oh, he's not real. Have a cup of tea.
Kale, I like to think, has made himself at home in the Lightkeeper's kitchen.
He's like
probably knows
cleaning,
it better than they do at this point because they probably haven't
making sure everyone's
eaten anything
fed.
other than like created food in a really long time.
So you spend the day, goes into the evening, you all make dinner together, share a wonderful meal, and feed the parents of these two beautiful babies. And the next few months go by as you all kind of finish out your year in your own ways. Callie, you know that the day is getting closer. The day that you're supposed to meet, where your father said, and you were told to meet at the top of the Weeping Widow to meet your mother. As the Everstorm approaches, do you tell everyone else? Do you want them to make the journey with you, or would you like to go alone with your father?
I told Neppy. Maybe not the whole way with everyone.
Okay. But do you want them to accompany you to like Westwatch kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay. So you let everyone know. So you all have the date. As it approaches, you all prepare to set out to join your companion and her father to the base of the Weeping Widow.
Can we
As-
go
mhm.
right to the, where the cave was, and then we
Mhm.
went up further?
Yep.
Like, right there.
Yeah, so yeah, you're going to travel up some of the mountain with her. And you all get in the mindset of heading out on this next leg of your journey together. And there's an excitement, as you know you're all going to be together once again. Yana is continuing her studies with Adonis, as it seems he has let her into something bigger. Neppy, you start gathering your things, knowing that the plan is to take the children to Temple Phalanis. I will come over there.
Yeah, I'll scooch over. Yeah. So I assume that Neppy and Kokenee would be sitting in with in the nursery. I imagine like Neppy would come in. Is there anything else that you need me to pack before we go?
Maybe I made a decision.
What do you mean?
I know we were gonna take the children to Temple Phalanis, but I can't leave them. I'm going to stay.
They'll be safe. They will be safe there.
I have a chance, an opportunity to be the father I never had. And I will always keep them safe.
I know. I know. I've spent so many nights
away from you. And this won't be any different, but it will be.
I know. I called in a favor.
A favor.
I had something made.
All right.
And you see he reaches into his pocket and pulls out 2 pendants. Familiar, somewhat, but different to the ones that Callie and Kamea wear. As he drapes a sending stone over your neck. And one over himself.
You're going to have to call me every day.
You have to call me.
I know.
That way I know you're on the same plane.
Right. I'm gonna have to learn lullabies that have only 25 words in them. If I'm not.
I don't think they run out of uses.
And if anything happens, you just call when I'm home. I have to. I don't want to.
I love you.
I love it. You take good care of them. I'm crying.
So, you gather up your things and you give the children a kiss. And you know that you'll see them again soon. As you take your things, and with a heavy heart, you head to meet your friends. As you all reconvene at Blackwater Keep and make your way to the boat that's waiting for you to make the journey to Westwatch. You've never been there before, Letters.
What are we taking a boat for?
I
One
could
of us has been there. That means we go fucking fast time. Or is
I could plane shift up, and Callie could use the talisman to take us down.
I mean, you've planned the journey, like the journey has been planned out. That
I'm sorry.
you could go early and just hang out.
No. We've spaced it out. It'll be nice to be on a boat surrounded by water. That'll be good.
Westwatch like a beach town?
Kind of. Yeah, it's like a growing. It's just on the cusp of being a city.
I mean, if we
but there's quite a bit of
teleport,
coastline.
if we teleport, we could have a beach holiday all together. Sorry, what was that, Neppy?
I said, let's just take the boat.
Let's take the boat. We're gonna take the boat.
We'll have a boat holiday all together.
All right. So you all travel to Westwatch and make your way out of the city to the base of the Weeping Widow, a large, lonely mountain on the southeastern side of Wolfreen. And you begin the ascent with Callie's father in tow, Hesiod Okeanos. And you make your way up the mountain. Takes you the better part of a day and a half to reach close to the summit where you find the cave where Callie, you once found your father. As you make your way up, storm clouds begin to roll in as you're getting close. You're now only a few hours away.
Sorry, just one thing. Can I have a moment with Neppy before I go up?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna walk up to to Neppy. Kind of poke the sending stone on your chest.
I've got one too now.
Yeah, kind of coming from my thing.
I know.
It's not easy.
No, it's excruciating. I don't know how you do it.
It's hard.
It's like you're away from them. But you've been away from them, but it's very different. How do you do it?
You know? This.
Thank you.
Of course. I mean, I found your parents.
You did find my parents, for goodness grace. You found my parents.
I couldn't find mine without finding yours, so.
Well, I'm sure Kokenee will need all the help he can get. And the faster. There will come time where we will both get to be home.
Yeah. It's the best part. Being home makes it sweeter.
Yes. I can imagine the jumps are hard. You see them and the bigger.
I'm scared Jar might grow scales, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Scales.
Hela is a elven wizard with fire power, and she has scales adorning her body.
Do they seem painful?
No. Seems like she's been through pain. She wanted Jar to make sure she knows how to use it.
Well, she's got you. And Kamea. Both of you.
Yes.
I can't imagine better parents for that girl. I've been a parent for 2 months now. I know what I'm talking about.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you.
You see your father, Callie, kind of looking out of the cave. I think it's time.
Yes.
And you can see the wind is starting to pick up as you head out. The storm has now grown. As you begin the ascent up the mountain, the peak, rain begins to pour. Thunder and lightning begin to crack across the sky as you feel the Everstorm approaching. As you and your father climb, hand over hand, up the last bit of the ascent, the rocks slippery and wet underneath your hands. Holding on, you can feel the cold wind biting against your hand and your face. Slowly you make your way up. And as you get to the summit, you stand and you can see lightning across the bay getting closer with each crack. As it gets closer and closer and closer, you see now figures flash through the clouds as they get closer like Valkyries across the sky. And finally you see at the front a large winged figure flying incredibly fast. With each lightning strike, she appears to get closer and closer until finally she arrives. Callista floats before you. Your mother, Battle Angel Accord, surrounded by the Everstorm. You see a dozen other angels just like her. You see in her hands a massive white metal battle axe. Her armor, gorgeous, scarred all the way across, the metal dented and imperfect. Calliope, I wish I had more time. We must make haste. To Svelen. We must go now. Ride, my child. And you see she summons lightning to her battle axe. As it cracks across the sky, you see 7 Pegasus formed out of lightning ride down.
Oh shit!
Gather them all. We must go. And that's where we're gonna end it tonight.
Oh my
My favorite thing about that is just imagining Clack on his own, like
His own lightning Pegasus.
Like the wrong way around, facing the butt of the Pegasus.
Holy shit.
Oh, shout out to Sirenscape.
Yo,
Wow.
Sirenscape.
Oh,
Thank you, Sirenscape.
Thank you
for
so much.
having an app that we used. Yeah. Sorry about the audio mixing stuff. We had people not using their regular mics, and we're using some audio, some Sirenscape stuff. So
It's all Corey. It was
hopefully-
Corey.
It was all Corey's fault.
Corey
Corey
was
was
here.
First
stressed
day.
out
Just
with
Corey's
the
first
audio.
day.
First full day.
Holy bananas, y'all. Thank you so much for joining with us tonight as we as I cried a whole bunch on the internet. And Tim made me cry and everyone made me cry and it was great.
That was the singular most intimate piece of D&D I think I've ever seen. Like as a pure spectator of that moment, that was one of the most like intimate, like get you right in the fucking heart D&D moments. Fucking kudos to the both of you. You played it to exceptional ability. It was amazing.
Well, Tim makes it very easy.
Likewise, all of you.
And a big mwah to all of you out there in chat. Holy moly, we love you all very much.
Yes.
Thank you for coming to join us at our table this week. You are welcome here every week and always. And we talk a lot as a group about how it takes a special something to be able to allow ourselves space to get into, to be emotionally vulnerable and deep and access things about these characters. And I am so we are so proud to be able to share our table with y'all. It means a lot to us. So with that, we I see what you just sent, Adam, and I think we should wait a little bit on that. We have some cool
stuff going on.
We have irons
things.
in the fire.
Irons in the fire.
irons.
So many
They're
exciting
almost
things.
at that perfect temperature.
Yeah.
They're almost at that perfect temperature. A little bit more time.
The perfect temperature is 69. Nice, thank you.
It is. They are 67.6.
It's very hot.
Very
That's
close.
very hot. Please come back next week, next Saturday, as we do this same time, same place. And while you're out there adventuring yourself around the world, make sure you take your best gosh darn friends with you. And
Be safe.
Bye.
We love you guys. Good night. Bye.